we go. Right. What's up, everybody? Let's doing another live here today. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Thought I'd do another one of these for this week because I'm not going to be able to hop on probably this coming week. I'll be on call, so it'll be a little busy for me to get on here. But I want to hop on and chat for a little bit. I have some new games to show off as well. So once some people start to get in here, we will show some new games off. Oh, it's Cronny. What's up, Cronny? What up? Welcome in. Hope your Sunday's going well. We're just gonna have a few games to show off here. I want to talk about resellers too, because I've seen a lot of stuff, especially with the Switch 2 coming out. People are selling those online for like $1,000. I actually saw one guy was selling one for $500, but in the description he wrote, "This is just a picture of a Switch 2. I will print it off and mail it to you, and there are no refunds." So going good. Good to hear, Cronny. So I don't know. I just hate people that do that who resell stuff. If you're someone who buys or is thinking about buying one of those, just don't. For reals, y'all. Yo, what up? What's up, man? So yeah, if you're thinking about buying a resold Switch 2, just wait. There will be plenty. I mean, you may have to wait. You may not get it on day one, but you'll get one if you want one. Just wait, seriously. And then, I like to do a lot of dreams and auctions on whatnot. And there was a Kuon that was for sale. The guy sold it to somebody for 1,000, and then the other guy was talking about how he's going to go sell it for 1,500 now. Like I just don't get reselling. It's those people who inflate prices and, in my opinion, make games hard to get because a lot of the games we should get are ones we should play. Wait for a good deal. Exactly. Just wait for a good deal. Don't spend thousands of dollars. Don't give in to these resellers and people who are just trying to turn profit off games. That's unfortunate, but we really just need to hopefully get the prices down because some of these games are outrageous. And I asked some dude who was selling a bunch of graded games. I was like, why would you grade that? Because they were all games, and I don't have an example, but they're all games that were not very good, and they're PS2. And he's like, well, because it's sealed, man. And I was like, okay, well, just buy a plastic case to put it in or something. You're paying someone money to just put it in a plastic case. Your Xbox should be at my place on Thursday. Sweet. Awesome. That was a good deal. That was a good deal. Yep. But like, if what was I talking about? I lost my train of thought thanks to Cronny. So I don't know. But oh yeah, he was grading things that were not like they were not even that expensive. And I just wanted to buy one so that I could do a live stream and crack it open on stream because it was just insulting that all these games that he was grading that could be played. I'll admit when I first started collecting, I bought a few graded games because they were ones that were really nice games and I thought it was like the thing to do, but now I'm learning it's not really a cool. I don't know. I just don't like it. I think it's just people are inflating prices and it's taking games off the market that can be played. I'd rather sell my copy of Chibi Robo to someone who really wants it for 50 bucks than 200 from a reseller is going to. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. The problem with those expensive games too is that there are people who really want to buy it and get a good deal and then sell it and make a profit, and they sell it to someone who then wants to make a profit, and it's just a never-ending cycle. So everything, the price just keeps going up. But yeah, I would love to be able to buy games from people who are selling them for a decent price so that I can play them. I don't, none of the games that I've ever bought have I ever planned on sending in to get graded. So I got a couple new games, so we can show off some new games I got. So first up, Tetris 2. I didn't know there was a Tetris 2 actually. This was like really cheap, and I saw it and I was like, oh, Tetris 2, that looks cool. So I popped it in, played it for a few minutes. I mean, obviously very similar to Tetris 1. I think it seems like it's a little more customizable though for the levels that you play. We only got four games here to go through, so there's that one. And then next one I got what? I don't know what. What, Crony? Why are you saying what? Next one is I've heard of Tetris 2. Yep. Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. I had heard of this one. I never played it growing up, but it's a complete in box. Popped it in as well, played it for a little bit. It seemed, at least the level I played through, all I could do was jump. There was no like attacks, so I think you just basically kind of jump around and dodge enemies, which I mean, doesn't seem like a whole lot of fun, but it is a little bit challenging. So there's Cast of Illusion with Mickey Mouse. And then this next one is a game that I've wanted for a while that I picked up, got a good deal on. Dynamite Cop for Sega Dreamcast. This is a super fun game. It's like a multiplayer arcade 3D beat 'em up, and you can use all kinds of stuff that's in the environment as weapons, like poles, vacuum cleaners, all kinds of stuff. Um, so a really cool game. I had heard someone say it was like a sequel to Die Hard, kind of, but I don't know if that's actually true or not. Visuals are very nice in that game, but gameplay doesn't seem pretty. Yeah, yeah, it is a pretty. If you're talking about Mickey Cast of Illusion, it is pretty visually appealing. But yeah, it's just the gameplay's not that fun, honestly. Nice. Yeah, this is a good pickup. I was happy to find this. And then the next game that I have, so it's a game I already have, but I don't have this version of it. So I have the not for resale version of Mario Kart Double Dash. So this is another version of Mario Kart Double Dash that includes a bonus disc in it. And shout out to DK's Retro Closet if he's watching this either right now or later. I didn't know this existed until he pointed it out to me, and I thought it was pretty cool, and I had to get it. So it's also complete, has all the extra stuff. So if you look at this disc, it's hard to tell, which I couldn't tell when I bought it, but there's a little bit of some like peeling going on there, which is unfortunate. That's what happens when you buy online games sometimes. But this comes with a demo disc. I'm not actually sure. Not sure which games are on the demo disc, honestly. I would think it would say in here somewhere, but there's like, look at this. I got a rebate for these Logitech wheels that's still in here. That's some cool stuff to have in there. So I love demo disc stuff. It's fun to explore and kind of imagine what it'd be like back then. It's rot, probably won't play. No, I put it in, it plays fine. It's not rot. So that's not disc rot. So this disc is fine on this side. See, everything's clean. And then this is just the part is just kind of peeling off. Almost like it got into the heat or something and it started to peel there, but it played fine. I popped it in and there were no issues. So I was worried it wouldn't play either, but it works just fine. So that's all the games I got for this week. Well, I guess over the past few days, I have maybe about 4 or 5 more that should come in this week at some point, but I'll show those off next week once I do another one of these live. And then actually, so not this week, the week after, I'll be going to PAX in Boston. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully I can get some videos and see some cool stuff and share with you guys. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but we'll see. I'm wearing my Resident Evil shirt today. I just did an episode that I recorded yesterday, so it'll be a little while before it posts, but the episode all about Resident Evil. So we talked about each game, what we like about them. We talked about the movies a little bit, and just it was an all Resident Evil game. So it was pretty fun. Do you know what your total number of games is currently? Yeah, I do actually. So before I got on here, I actually went through and I had a backlog of a bunch of games. So every time I buy a game when it comes in, I always test it to make sure it works. If it doesn't, then I fix it and then I'll clean it too so it looks nice, take stickers off and everything like that. You think yours is 533. So yeah, my count as of right now after cataloging the ones that I cleaned today is 690. So I have 690 and I think I have about 4 or 5 more coming in the mail. So almost to that 700 mark. So hopefully I get to the 700 mark soon. So you know what? I should post on my Instagram that I'm live. I forgot to do that. Maybe we'll get some more people in here. Let's see. Gotta pop that on there. Always love more people coming in. Always love meeting new people and talking about cool stuff. Just talking about games. So we are live on YouTube. I gotta pull the link up here. 690, nice. Yeah, 690 is a lot. So I need more shelf room, so I'm gonna be buying some new shelves when I move. That will hopefully help with that. So let's see. share, copy link, go chat, click here to chat. Somehow always stream when I got no work or I'm currently not doing anything important. It's funny. Yeah, I actually have hidden cameras in your house for reals, y'all, and I can see when you're not doing anything. And so whenever I see those, I start a stream. So it's very convenient that way. Let's see. All right, let's say come chat about all things retro gaming. All right, we got that posted to the old story there. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. I have 96 Xbox games. I haven't ever sorted my games into I haven't sorted my games into how many I have for each system, but I mean, I have quite a few for everything. I have a lot of Super Nintendo, I think. Just glancing and looking, I would say Super Nintendo is what I have the most of. Well, PS2 is probably close as well. Definitely the least I have is Sega Saturn. You thought you had 100, but not quite. Yeah, you got to get four more games. Yeah, you need to get four more games so that you can have a nice, even 100. So, appreciate everybody coming in. Welcome to the chat. We were just showing off. I showed off some new games I got. We're talking about just anything video game related that you guys want to talk about. So, anybody have any plans for the upcoming week? A few that are two games on a disc. Yeah, it doesn't count though. It counts each box and manual and game counts. You have to have all the things for it. So it doesn't even count if you just have a loose disc. I have 45 Saturn games, but it's going to go up when I go to Japan. Oh yeah, you're going to get such good deals on games when you go to Japan. You're going to find so many good ones. I have one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, I have six Saturn games. I have another one coming in that I ordered. So when that comes in, I'll show you guys what it is. So I'm not going to tell you what it is right now, but Sega Saturn and Sega CD probably have less than a dozen Sega CD games. Um, yeah, Game Gear, I guess, would be the least. We'll cut that in half then. Oh, so you were counting loose games. Oh, you can't count. I mean, it's up to you. You do what you want. You do what you got to do. But I only count like Xbox if it's a complete in box game. So if you guys pop in the chat, let me know if you want to see anything. I think the next live stream I'm going to try to do is it'll be again before I leave to go to Boston, 50 with manuals. Is that manuals and box or just manuals and game? What I'll try to do before I go to Boston is I have some more expensive games and so they're a little more, what's the right word? Grails, I guess. No boxes. Doesn't count then. Doesn't count. So I have some games that I want to get and show off on here as part of my collection. Um, Might have to split it into two different streams, but we'll see. See if we'll be able to do that. How many Ninja Turtles games do you have? All right, let's count. So I got one. This is for Shredder's Revenge. So that's one. Let's see. And then for NES, I have two. I have number one and number two, the arcade games. So that makes three. For Super Nintendo, I have Turtles in Time. So that makes four. There are none on Nintendo 64. There are none on Dreamcast that I have, at least. PlayStation is zero. Sega Genesis, I have Tournament Fighters, which makes five. Saturn, no. Sega CD, no. I don't have any on PS2 actually, so I guess I only have five Ninja Turtles games. Unless I'm missing one, but I think I just yeah, I think I count those right, just five. I mean, there's a lot of Ninja Turtles games. Oh wait, maybe I have the one on GameCube. Hold on. Nope. No, I don't have the one on GameCube. I thought maybe I did. So again, if you're just tuning in, just showing off some new games. So I have four Turtles in Time. Yep, got that. Three on the OG Xbox based on the two. Oh yeah, those are the ones. Yeah, the TMNT games. Those are pretty cool. Those are good. If you're just tuning in, we got some new games that I picked up. Dynamite Cop, real fun. Highly recommend it. Sega Dreamcast arcade port, beat 'em up, three-dimensional, where you can play with a friend, which is a lot of fun. These kind of games are really fun multiplayer. And then what's everybody think about Passive Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse? Was told to pick this up. Wasn't really sure how it would go. I popped it in and played it for a little bit, but it was it was pretty. I'll give it that, but very simple gameplay and really not that complicated. And then we got Tetris 2 right here. Tetris 2, sequel to one of probably the most famous games of all time. You know, like Mario, people who don't even play video games say Tetris. If you ask them to name a video game, they would say Mario or Tetris. Then we got the Mario Kart with the demo disc here. Again, shout out to DK's Retro Closet for telling me about this existing. So the one game that I was afraid when I was going through testings that wasn't going to work was a preview disc that I got. So let's see where the preview disc. It's a nice GameCube game that I need to play. Eternal Darkness. Definitely got to play that soon. This is probably once I start back up to streaming again. I think this might be one of the ones I'll consider playing. Is Eternal Darkness. Have you heard of Blue Stinger on Sega Dreamcast? Pretty rough survival horror game, but it's amazing atmosphere, very fun, weird writing, features the voice cast of Sonic. I did not know it had the voice cast of Sonic Adventure, but you talking about this Blue Stinger? I haven't played it yet, but I did get it because, like you, someone recommended it because it was a survival horror game, and so got a complete in box copy for a decent price. I think I got this on eBay. I got it like a long time ago. Definitely one that I will need to look at and play, along with Eternal Darkness. I guess there's dinosaurs or something. Survive the terror of Dinosaur Island. Who doesn't love a good dinosaur? One player, switch between two heroes, hand to hand, 22 weapons, play an action movie. Follow cam to adjust the cam as you swim, drive, climb, fight, and blast through a 3D world. Sounds pretty fun. Yeah, I don't have a lot of Dreamcast games either. I definitely have less than 20 Dreamcast games. I don't know the exact number though. Definitely less than 20. I like it, but it's pretty rough. A lot of those survival horror games are pretty rough. Um, Another one on Dreamcast that I need to play still is D2. I'm not sure if I showed this off last time or not, but D2 is a multi-disc game. So, oops, it's kind of like survival horror in a way. You're basically in the Canadian mountains, kind of like setting like the movie The Thing, if you've ever seen that, which is a pretty good movie. I highly recommend that movie if you haven't seen it. The Thing. And then while we're talking about Dreamcast, we're looking for a certain game. Here it is. It's another Dreamcast survival horror, Ill Bleed. This one I also haven't played. but I actually didn't know about this game existing until I saw it on a shelf and I looked it up and I looked at the back of the cover and that looks just like a pretty cool game. Something about that just tells me, okay, I'm gonna probably like this game. So I think it's like a third person as well. Not really sure. It's basically like a B horror film is what it sounds like, but everything like comes to life, I think. Yeah, so B horror film, anyone who can survive his seven movie themed worlds. B movie humor. You must solely rely on sensory feedback and the hard to find horror monitors to survive. So pretty interesting. One that I gotta check out. Definitely look into that. While we're on Dreamcast, I guess. I don't like fighting games very much. I like the tournament fighters game, but this is another good fighting game, Marvel vs. Capcom. I love being able to play as the Marvel superheroes and do fighting. So I like Mortal Kombat. I like Marvel vs. Capcom. Pretty much any other fighting games I don't really like. So it's a fun game. I like it, but it's rough. Illbleed is very comedic and over the top, super weird game. Yeah, sounds like it from just reading it. I'm interested to play it, see what it's like. Same developers as Blue Stinger. Oh, okay. Some Sonic voices. Sounds like the Sonic people got a lot of work when it came to the Dreamcast. Another good game on Dreamcast, Jet Grind Radio. Not sure if you guys have ever played this. I remember spending hours playing this game when I was younger. Basically, you roller skate around, you do like graffiti and stuff, and there's little challenges that you have to do, but it's a lot of fun. And it's like a cartoon style, the cell shading, which there's not a lot of those games. Another cell shaded game is I think Cell Damage is a good one. That's like a racing game. And then XII or 13, that's another cell shaded game. It's a first person shooter. So I guess we're going through Dreamcast here. Let me see what else. What other Dreamcast games have I not shown? There's Ready to Rumble. Raymond's a classic. I only played Jet Set Radio Future. Same thing. Yeah, it's difficult, but it's fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The music's good too. Rayman. Everyone likes a good Rayman game. It's Rayman 2 for the Dreamcast. And then, uh, so I didn't even know. Well, one of my favorite Resident Evils of all time, Resident Evil Code Veronica. Okay, which is different than Resident Evil Code Veronica X. That's something that a lot of people don't know. Is X is has like a little bit difference in some of the scenes. It's kind of like a director's cut, I guess you could call it. But Resident Evil Code Veronica, one of my top Resident Evil games of all time. And then again, I didn't know this existed on Dreamcast, but apparently Resident Evil 2 was ported to Dreamcast, and I had no idea. So I have a copy of that. I try to obtain all Resident Evil games for all systems that I can. So this is very similar to the um, PlayStation version. So then this is Sonic, yeah, Sonic Adventure, cool game. If you've never played it, I love. I don't like Sonic very much, but I like this. And not to spoil anything, but I did one of the games you'll be seeing soon is Sonic Adventure 2 because I did order that to come in and be part of my collection. I don't like Jet Set Radio Future much. Gameplay is smoother, but the visuals and character redesigns I'm not a fan. The game is so brown gray. The original is so colorful and vibrant. Yeah, the original's good. Original's good for sure. Dino Crisis was also ported to Dreamcast. Only the first though. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I have those for PlayStation, but I don't have them for Dreamcast. So I'm curious if any of the other Resident Evil games are on Dreamcast other than Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil Code Veronica. I think Resident Evil 3 is on Dreamcast, but I don't think Resident Evil 1 ever made it to Dreamcast. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But speaking of Resident Evil, I think Resident Evil was ported to a lot of consoles. Like here we have Resident Evil for Sega Saturn. Again, I didn't know this existed, but I saw it at a convention I was at actually. Oh, I got the receipt in here and everything. You don't want to know how much I paid for this. Yeah, we're not going to talk about how much I paid for Resident Evil on Sega Dream or on Sega Saturn, but it's complete. It's got the foam and everything in here. So I think it's a little bit different too than the original on PlayStation. So Resident Evil. So I have a long box Resident Evil for PlayStation also. I don't think I really shown off my Sega Saturn games. 400? No, it wasn't quite 400. It wasn't four. Three Nemesis on Dreamcast, but not the first. You're correct. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I do. If I want to get the full collection of everything, I do need to get Resident Evil 3 Nemesis for Dreamcast. But Resident Evil 3 is not really one of my favorites. Code Veronica and 2 are my favorites. 1 is another favorite, but those are really my favorite Resident Evil games. So I never really got the hype on this. Panzer Dragoon for Sega Saturn. I played it. Uh, for reals, y'all, you might disagree with me. You might think it's amazing. I don't know. I played it. I just wasn't a huge fan. I mean, it's pretty, I guess. That's one thing going for it, but the game was just a little weird. Then I have Panzer Dragoon 2 as well, which when I first bought my Sega, the guy that sold it to me is like, "Oh, you got to get these games. These games are like the best games on Sega Saturn ever made." And I was like, "Okay," because I didn't know anything about Sega Saturn, so I did it, and I didn't really like them. It's good to show off these Saturn games while we have for reals y'all in here. He's like the Saturn expert. I think it's good, but I wasn't that into it. I'm not a big shmup guy, and Panzer Dragoon didn't grab me. Okay. Well, then you got Earthworm Jim 2 for Sega Saturn. I like Earthworm Jim. Always been a fan of the Earthworm Jim games. He's kind of comical and so funny games to play for sure. So we got Earthworm Jim. Let's put this back. And then here's a game that I played, Brain Dead 13. I'm not gonna lie, I saw this because it looked cool and it wasn't very expensive. But it's like one of those like FMV games, I think, where they like show video on the screen and you have to react by pressing buttons and doing stuff, but there's little to no instruction on it. And so I honestly played it and I did not know what I was doing. Yeah, I'm not sure what I was doing in this game. I only have Earthworm Jim for the Mega Drive. I have the Sega Saturn version I just showed. I think I have one of the Super Nintendo Earthworm Jims. Yeah, I think I just have it somewhere. Then I have Sega Genesis. I think I have Earthworm. Yeah, I have Earthworm Jim for Sega. Actually, I have two copies of that one. I need to get rid of one. And I have the Sega Saturn version. And I have the Nintendo 64 Earthworm Jim 3D, which is a good one too. So, and then this one, again, another cool game that I wanted to get a hold of is Batman Forever, the arcade game. This is a pretty sweet game on Sega Saturn. I collect a lot of the Batman games. So Batman, Ninja Turtles, those are probably two of the other than Resident Evil. Any game I see that's related to Batman. Let's put these back in order. So this one. So yeah, that's all my Sega Saturn games really. I need to get more, but got a lot of Sega CD, at least a dozen or so down there. So if there's anything else you guys want to see, if there's any questions you have about any of the games I might have, let me know. Definitely. Here's a game I randomly just got pulled out because we were talking about the thing earlier with I think D2, the thing. Oh yeah, Cronny was asking I think if D2 was two discs, but yeah, D2 I think it's is it two or more than two? It's four. D2 is four discs. So there's disc four, there's disc three. The other discs are on the other side. So D2 is 4 discs. But we were talking about good movies. This is a good movie. The game is all right. I played it for a little bit. I can't say that I spent a lot of time on it, but I really liked the movie. Um, this is actually one game in my collection where I bought the game and it didn't have a manual. Came with the box, but I bought the manual separately. So this one's a little bit Frankensteined together, if you will. So yeah, the thing, if you're not aware, is basically this virus that infects everyone, but you don't know who's infected because you still take the form of yourself. That's wild. You got to keep swapping them discs. Yeah, that's a lot of swapping to do, but I mean, there's a lot of games like that, especially on PlayStation. So some good 4 disc games. Parasite Eve. Yeah, Parasite Eve is a good one. That is 4 discs as well. So, oh, maybe not. Oh no, it's only 2 discs. My mistake. So Parasite Eve is only 2 discs. Disc one, and then actually what it has. Oops, what's going on here? Doesn't want to shut. There we go. And it has like a collector's CD, which is not for resale in here, which is like I think it has some. Does this have music maybe? Collector's CD. Oh no, it's a demo. Sorry, it's got demos. It's got movies. It's got a playable demo of Xenogears. It's got a movie for Bushido Blade 2 and Brave Fencer and Final Fantasy 8. So it's only got one playable demo. But um, for Heart of Darkness, this was 2 discs. Yeah. So disc two of two right here. Oops. And this one's pretty cool because it also has the 3D glasses you can wear while playing the game, which do absolutely nothing. But this is like really complete. Norwegian guy in the opening of the thing is so funny to me as Norwegian because the guy wasn't Norwegian, so I said he was a producer on the movie. Oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea. That's pretty cool. So, and then of course you got your Final Fantasies. So this one, Final Fantasy 8, for example. Let's there. Double disc. We got obviously Metal Gear Solid. So, guys, if you're just coming in, you want to see a game, let me know. If you have any questions about collecting or there's anything you want to talk about with retro collecting, let me know. So, Metal Gear Solid, you got disc one here. You got disc two here. So, Burning Rangers on Saturn is one I love. You run around fighting fires. They go for display. It's like a sci-fi firefighting game. Wow, that sounds interesting. I'm gonna have to check that one out. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, I didn't realize that I had. This is interesting, guys. I didn't realize I had both these. So I have the greatest hits version of Metal Gear Solid and then the normal version of Metal Gear Solid, which interesting. Okay. Not sure how I got both of those. Here's one of my all-time sleepers. So if you guys have never played Oddworld Abe's Odyssey or Oddworld Abe's Exodus, I would definitely check it out. Really fun game, really humorous. Another one of these multi-disc games. So yeah, a lot of these are 2 discs. I'm trying to find, I think the English version is pricey though. Japanese one for 30 bucks. Yeah, I just can't do I know the Japanese ones are cheaper, but I can't do them because I wouldn't understand anything and I would just get too frustrated. So there's let's see. Well, I showed you Parasite Eve already. But not only Parasite Eve 1, but Parasite Eve 2 is also multi-discs. Playing the Oddworld never got around. Oh, you like it. It's kind of like a puzzle platformer, puzzle-based game where you have to save all of Abe's friends and stuff. And it's really cool. But Parasite Eve is another multi this game here. Let's see what else we got in the multi-disc region. I'm trying to find. I know there's one that's 4 discs somewhere. Driver 2, believe it or not, Driver 2 was multiple discs. Oops. Oh boy, these discs are like flying all over the place out of here. They don't stay very well. Yeah, 2 discs, so you got your second disc in here. As a game collector myself, I don't understand physical game collecting. They take up space, they can get damaged, they degrade over time, etc. Well, to each his own, man. I don't understand emulation or, buying digital games because I think that when I grew up, this is what we had is we had digital games and I love collecting them. I love being able to show them off and have them as a collection and keep track like visually of what I have in my collection. So, I mean, I don't have anything against you if you don't like physical games, but yeah, to each his own, you know. Does anyone else have any comments about physical games versus digital game collecting or maybe emulation? My neighbor had that with the steering wheel. Yeah, the steering wheel was pretty cool, dude. I think this one's 4 discs. Yeah, here we go. Here's another 4 disc game for you, Cronny. So we got Fear Effect. So you got to do a lot of switching here. You got disc one and disc two is behind the manual, and then disc three and disc four here. They're all different colors, but if you can see, there's disc four. See, it says disc four. There's a 4 disc game for you. Let's get out. Oh, Fear Effect here is also 4 discs. Yep. Fear Effect, Fear Effect 2, another 4 disc game. This is a fun game if you've never played it. Highly recommend it. This is a little bit broken, so this disc doesn't want to stay in here, but it stays pretty well. So there's plenty of games on PlayStation that are 4 discs. I like physical games, but the boxes do take up space. Yeah, they do take up space. It's like books, right? It's like, do you want to read books? Do you want to have a digital copy of books, or do you want to have actual books on the shelves? It's really up to you. There's a lot of aspects to collecting. It's a hobby in and of itself. It's kind of about the feeling of using the old hardware and sort of being taken back and appreciate. Yeah, I agree with that for reals, y'all. Nice, and no one can take your games away, and even if disc-based games can easily last 100. Oh yeah, as long as they're stored okay, absolutely. These games will last forever, 100%. Yeah, not that I'm worried that something's going to happen to the cloud and all my digital games are going away, but there is something to say about being able to like touch and feel and put a game in, start up, do all that. It's also cool. I mean, some people might not like it. It's cool when you put a cartridge game in and it doesn't work, and you have to like troubleshoot it, clean it out, clean the pins a little bit, and then get it to work. That's kind of a cool thing about games that you don't really see unless you're playing real media. So here's another multi-disc. It's Final Fantasy Anthology. So you got your disc here for Final Fantasy 5, and I think 6 is in here as well. There it is, 6, and then you get this music CD that has the music from the video games. So, and then this is another Final Fantasy Chronicles. So it's got Final Fantasy 4 and Chrono Trigger in it. Favorite SNES game? Go. All right, got you, bro. This is the no oh, wrong one. I just grabbed the wrong one. I'm gonna give you a couple. So this could change depending on what day of the week it is, but I think, dang it, that's the wrong one too. I don't know where I put it. Sorry. These were all in alphabetical order, but I moved them around. Okay, so if I can find it, my favorite SNES game is Turtles in Time, number one. Claymates is good. Turtles in Time is my favorite, but I seem to not be able to know where that is. It has a not for resale label on it, so it should be easy for me to find it. Here we go. Here we go. Turtles in Time. So this is the not for resale version, actually. So these are ones that were in kiosks that you could play, like at the store, as demos. So because it even says demo here. So even though it says demo only up here, it's still the full game. There's a couple exceptions to that for these not for resale copies, but that's not one of them. So, and I also like Donkey Kong Country, which I have another not for resale, and then I have the normal, also a great game, and then Super Mario World as well. Those are all classics. Claymates is good. I haven't played Claymates really. Super Metroid. Super Metroid's good. Not never really got into Super Metroid or Zelda even. Yeah, Zarsky. Zarsky 843. What's your favorite SNES game, sir? Or madam? I guess I don't really know, but if you're in the chat right now, go ahead and pop in what your favorite SNES game is of all time. That's a good topic that Zarsky brought up. Do you have Mega Man X games? All right, so let's go through Mega Man here. So I do have Mega Man X, but So I have Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2, I have Mega Man 3, first Mega Man X, Mega Man 4. I was never really into Mega Man a lot growing up. Mega Man 5, Mega Man 6. Okay, so there's all the NES ones. Let me put these back real quick. All right. And then Super Nintendo. Um, Super Nintendo, I have Mega Man X2 right here. Mega Man X2. Then I have, it's too low on the shelf, but I have Mega Man Legends for, well, here, I can get it off for Nintendo 64, probably. Mega Man 64, which is essentially this is Mega Man Legends. Super Nintendo, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping by. We were talking about what our favorite Super Nintendo game of all time was actually. So good timing, man. So we got Mega Man 64. Just showing off someone was interested in Mega Man. And I have Mega Man Legends for PlayStation. And for PS2, I do have what do I have? And then for PS2, we got Mega Man X Collection right here. So this basically has seven of the games in it all in one. It's pretty cool. And then there's the Anniversary Collection, which also has several games in it for Mega Man. And these are all complete. I don't have any other. Let's see. No, I don't have any other Mega Man games than those. So, all right, what we got here? Earthbound, Super Mario World. Super Mario World is definitely a classic. Love it. Yoshi's Island, I never really liked it that much, but and Earthbound, I'm not a huge fan of RPGs. So, Alex Dodman, hi everyone. What's going on, man? Welcome in. We were talking about our favorite SNES game of all time. So, drop it in the comments if you got it. Sleeper favorite is Kirby's Dream Course. Underrated sleeper favorite is Lawnmower Man. Really? Let's see. Lawnmower Man. And you said Kirby. I know I got it. Yeah, right here. Kirby's Dream Course. So I bought this and I love the Kirby games. I wasn't a huge fan of Kirby's Dream Course. It was different. I'll give it that. But to each his own. If you like that, right on, man. It's fun to hear what everyone's interests are and what different games people like. And then you said Lawnmower Man, which I have here. I'll be honest, I haven't played it yet, but you're giving it a raving review, so I'm very excited to pop this in at some point and play it. Guys, if you're just popping in, drop in some of your favorite games in the comments. If you want to see anything from my collection, let me know. If you want to ask if I have anything, want to make a recommendation. I was showing off some new games we got. That's usually what I start off with. Mine's between Diddy Kong's Quest, okay, Kirby Superstar, okay, Super. I need to get a copy of Super Mario RPG because I really want to play it, but I just can't find it for a good deal. It's way too expensive now. Yoshi's Island, Super Metroid, Mega Man X, or A Link to the Past. Oh yeah, those are all classics for sure, dude. Um, I just actually picked up Zelda. Where did I put it though? Yeah, I realized I didn't have this in my collection, and so like a week or so ago, I picked it up, and it was a super good deal. Lloyd Jones, hello from Liverpool, England. Oh, hello. Thanks for tuning in. How are things over in England? Any games that you guys are playing currently? And then I also picked up RoboCop versus Terminator. That's why that was connected. So they're not connected, but they were right next to each other here. So I did pick up a few games. Oops. You're a big fan of Bubsy? Dude, I do I have Bubsy? Hold on. You talking about Bubsy right here? I'll be honest, again, this came in like a huge lot of games and I never played it. I've heard a lot of people have played Bubsy. I've heard some mixed reviews about it. But if Super Tendo says this is a good game, guys, you all need to check it out. Bubsy. By the way, make sure you guys follow Super Tendo. He's on Instagram and all the platforms, I think under Super Tendo. But he's got some pretty cool content. Big Zelda guy. If you guys are a Zelda fan, make sure you check Super Tendo out for sure. So one of the games I picked up, we were talking about Castle of Illusion. Lawnmower Man is flawed, definitely not perfect, but it's a fun, tough challenge. I'm telling you, the music is fantastic, especially the title song. All right, I've never seen the movie either because it's a movie, right? And I've never seen the movie, so excited to see what the movie or the game looks like. But see that this we were talking about a little bit, Mickey Mouse. I I played it. People rave about this game, I feel like. I don't know. I've heard some people say it's really fun, but it's you just jump over stuff. So I don't understand the appeal in that. And then we were talking about so Mario Kart Double Dash, there's actually three versions of this game. So there's let's see. Where? Oh where? Here it is. So what do you guys notice that's like different? The movie Age Like Milk, but I like it. All right, I'll check it out. So what do you guys notice is different about these two games, right? So this, whoops, nope, everything's backwards. So this one right here has a bonus disc in it. So this is Mario Kart Double Dash. This is actually a not for resale copy right here. But then this one is a little bit different. It's not a not for resale copy, but it is has a bonus disc in it, which is pretty cool. Has some demos of some different games you can play. So it's pretty cool. I didn't know this existed until someone told me about it. Are you an actual doctor? Is that just your name? I am actually a doctor. Yeah, I am a doctor, and I will be have to be on call all week coming up because yeah, the red stripe. You got it, red stripe. So I'm doing a live stream right now because I'm going to be on call this whole week coming up. So when I'm on call, it's hard to do any of this streaming stuff. So sometimes you might see me stream for like every couple days for 2 weeks, and then I'll be not streaming at all for a whole week, and that's because I'm on call. It just gets very difficult. So um, I was showing off the not for resale games, which are pretty cool. There's also not only for Super Nintendo, but they also made those not for resale games for Nintendo 64. So just it's a little different. It had not for resale there on the front as opposed to on the top. So the top is blank. Um, what kind of doc? I'm a surgeon. So Mario Party 2, not for resale right there. So a couple other games I picked up recently. I showed these off on the last stream. Simon's Quest has the manual, and then another game that has the manual here, Strider. Strider was a fun game. Pretty simple, straightforward, but I remember playing a lot of Strider when I was growing up. The NFR copies go for a lot too. Yeah, they're more expensive. There's a lot that I don't have at some point. It'd be awesome to collect all of them, but the Zelda one's pretty expensive. Actually, the most expensive one I've seen is there's a Mortal Kombat 2 for Super Nintendo, and I think that not for resale is like 750 or $800. That's the most expensive one I've seen. Well, and then the Goldeneye, there's a Goldeneye not for resale for 64. I think that one, ooh, I'm trying to think. I think that one's like $1,100. That one's pretty expensive, but I don't have those. So I so this is a good example for another fake game. So this is Donkey Kong 64, which I bought online. Turns out, see, that just doesn't look right. If you look at that copyright sticker or copyright impression should not even be there. Um, hard to see probably for you guys, but yeah, I guess you can see it's like very white for the pins down here in the board. So those are just some ways if you want to find out how to identify fake games and how to clean some games, check out the not the most recent, but the one before that episode that I posted on my podcast. Oh, actually, no, it was the most recent episode. So check out that episode. It'll help you spot fake games so you don't buy reproductions. It'll also help you to learn how to clean games. Have you seen the price of the Donkey Kong Country tournament? It's literally for ballers only. Oh yeah, dude. Here, you might make fun of me for this, but check this out. I'm surprised you say that. So it's actually in my watch list. Let's see, where is it? Ignore all the other crap that's in my watch list because sometimes I just put random stuff in there. But so there's two. There's two for sale on eBay, actually. There's, man, where is it? Let me just search. Here we go. So there's this one. You see this one? This one's three grand, but look at the quality of that one. The label is like way bad on that. So I would not buy that. And they're selling it for 3 grand. Crazy. But then the better one right here, 8 grand. Look at this. 8 grand for this one. This is like my grail. If I could ever get this, that would be so awesome. And it's pretty cool because it's not like the full game. It's just like a competition cartridge. So you play through. The goal is to get as many points and collect um, as many coins or whatever as you can. So let's see. What else? What else can we show off? What is everyone playing? Did everyone get a Switch 2? What are you guys' thoughts? I was talking earlier about resellers, and one of my man, yeah, it's so expensive. So resellers tend to bug me, and I don't know what you guys think, but I see a lot of people who buy a game, then they resell it for a higher price to someone who then also resells it to someone who also resells it, and that's what's inflating these prices. I saw a guy on Whatnot who was selling all graded games, and I wanted to buy a graded game from him and then do a stream and just crack it open and say, look, this is ridiculous. Why are we doing this? So the original NES Championship card. Oh, that one's like even more expensive. I think that's like 10, 15, 20,000, isn't it? But I mean, I have the World Championship. This is still sealed. This box set here. So GameStop 4:30 a.m. on Thursday because I wasn't playing around, dude. I feel you. But back to resellers and stuff. So there are sales, people trying to sell Switch 2s online for like 750, 800, even $1,000. There's even a guy that posted one that is literally, if you read the description, I saw this on Reddit today. It says I will send you a printed picture of a Switch 2. There are no refunds. Like this guy's just trying to scam somebody. Please do not buy any of those. You will get a Switch 2. You may have to wait. If you didn't wake up at 4:30 like Super Nintendo, hey, no problem. You'll get one. Just don't pay $750 for it because also that's what's ruining the price of games. I feel like people are inflating prices and paying these prices, and then everyone ends up suffering from it because now the prices go up. And that's mostly I'm talking about retro games, I guess. The picture, yes, so you saw it too? Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. I don't know, dude. I don't know why anyone would think that's a good idea. Like, so let's see. Someone mentioned Metroid. So we got Metroid here. I want to play Oblivion. It's really a PC game, and it came out on 360. Oh yeah, I saw it came out. So here's Metroid. I think this is the NES Classic version. I don't have the regular version. Um, and then where is my Super Metroid? Promise that normally these are a lot better organized. Super Mario All Stars, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario World. Wow, there we go. It's also a player's choice version. So this is like what we know as greatest hits for like the PlayStation. They did this for Super Nintendo, and this is a um, player's choice. So they made a lot of these a little less expensive usually than the non-player's choice versions. So this is pretty cool too. If you guys don't have a Game Boy, but you have a Super Nintendo, you can buy a Super Game Boy. So you can put Game Boy games in it. You can play them on your Super Nintendo. It's pretty cool. Where's the 04 preview disc? I'm trying to find this preview disc that I had. I don't know what I did with it. It was the preview disc I was showing the other day because I was curious if anyone had ever heard of it. And where did I put it though? I'll be really excited when I have more room and can organize these games a lot better. But if you guys are just hopping in, drop in the chat maybe what some of your favorite games of all time are, what your favorite console is, any games you want to see, any game recommendations you have. Um, Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. So subscribe to my channel. I do new episodes every Wednesday where I interview a new video game collector from all over the world. We show off some really cool stuff. Super Tendo has been on there. Super Tendo has a cool page all about Zelda if you like Zelda. Did you know in Japan there was a Super Game Boy too? No. What's the difference? What does it do anything extra? Or they just wanted to just make another one and make more money off of it? I'm trying to find this preview disc that I swear I put over here earlier today, but I not for the life of me find it. I really should have looked that up before I left or before I got online. Did I put it over here by accident? Speaking of grails and good games, so this is another pretty expensive game, Def Jam Fight for New York. It's not really that fun. I don't know if any of you guys have played it. I I didn't really like it. I don't really like fighting games either. I know it's not technically like a fighting game per se, but you know, it is what it is. Here we go. So here's the game that I was showing the other day, the preview disc here, and I had never seen it before. But I guess GameCube, I think there's one more different one out in the world, but it's got 5 playable games, and you can even hook up your Game Boy Advance. And I wondered what it was, and it looked cool, so I got it. But this is the one I thought was not going to work because the disc was a little scratched, but I cleaned it up and it looks nice. So it plays very nicely. From Google, the main difference between the Super Game Boy and the Super Game Boy 2 is the Super Game Boy 2 runs Game Boy games at the correct clock speed, unlike the original Super Game Boy, which ran games slightly faster. Interesting. Keith, what's going on, man? Welcome in. Good to see you. Has anybody playing anything lately? Any good games that have come out? What's everyone's, if you're in the chat, go ahead and drop what your favorite game of all time is. I always love to hear what kind of games people like. Mine, obviously, Resident Evil, if you didn't know. That's one of my favorite series of games. So let me know if you guys what your favorite game of all time is. Is that Fight for New York? That game is worth some change. That is Fight for New York. Oh, you talking about games worth some change? Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. Games worth some change, especially since DMX died. Oh yeah, for sure. So, um, Silent Hill, I have PlayStation. It's down there. I'm not gonna grab it, but talk about games worth some change. So I also have a complete in box Silent Hill 2. So here we go. Silent Hill 2, complete in box. If by hours played, Rocksmith is your favorite game? I've not really played Rocksmith. Just been running Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive on Switch. Nice. What's everybody else been playing? So Silent Hill 3 right here. Another CIB copy. Okay. Then we got Silent Hill 4, The Room. I have to get all of the survival horror games. You guys know that. I can't, if it's a survival horror game and I don't have it, please tell me because I need to get it. So, and then Silent Hill Origins right here. So, I'm not going to open this one up, but it's complete. It is complete. And then another kind of survival horror game. It's not Silent, excuse me, not Silent Hill. It's not Resident Evil, but it is worth a pretty penny. Oh, excuse me. Rule of Rose. So I got Rule of Rose here. Also complete. Also a game I need to play and stream, but I've seen plenty of these graded. I've seen plenty of these like people selling. Don't grade this. If you buy this, please don't grade it. Play it. Buy it and play it. If you don't want to play it, sell it to someone who will play it. Do not grade it. Do not sell it. Do not do any of that. Rule Rose. Yep, exactly. Picking one favorite game is so hard. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. So I just picked that one up. It's not here yet in the mail. It's in the mail. Well, there's the GameCube version and the Dreamcast version, but I got the Dreamcast Sonic Adventure 2. So I'm excited to play that. I can pay off my car with that game. I remember playing Rule of Rose at a friend's place. It's pretty good. I've heard good things about it. I didn't just buy it because it was, I bought it because I've heard good things and it's a survival horror game. So yeah, everybody, Cronny agrees. Jeremy Kronberg agrees. Do not Guys, make sure you do not grade these games. Keep them open so people can play them. For crying out loud. Here's a couple other games for you all. So let's see. Roll of Rose is like a third the price in the Power region. Yeah, a lot of these games are like more less expensive, but some more survival horror games. Haunting Ground, which is also complete, fun game to play. Highly recommend it. I'll play some of these rare titles on stream. Yeah, the goal is once I move and have more space and can get things set up better, where I can get better I guess just better space in general. I'll do some streaming. So we're looking around probably July, early August, late July, early August when I do some more streaming. But I'm excited. Haunting Grounds is a fourth of the price here. Kuan is less. Dude, Kuan is one I don't have just because I'm not gonna pay like $1,000. So Clock Tower 3, my boy. Super Tendo, you know I got you, man. Whoop, there it is. Clock Tower 3. You know I got you. Clock Tower 3. Right there. And then another cool one is Obscure. So again, I haven't played this one, but there's also a sequel to it too. And I haven't played the sequel either. But highly recommend checking some of these games out. This is pretty cool because it's got music by Sum 41 in it, which is pretty cool. My favorite game is Metal Gear on NES. Metal Gear on NES. Metal Gear NES. When I show off my sealed and stuff games, when I do a stream for that, I do have a sealed copy of this. I have a sealed NES copy of Metal Gear. So so if you like Metal Gear, Alex, I'm just curious what do you think about Snake's Revenge? So this is kind of like the unofficial sequel that was made for Metal Gear, um, but still has Snake in it and all that. So I'm really screwing up this alphabeticalization over here. It's good. It's crazy. I used to have all these games in high school and I got from eBay games used for really cheap and now they're all yeah, exactly. I wish I would have kept like all the games I had growing up, but one way or another I sold them and I didn't really, think about the future. Futurama, another banger. So this is complete in box. This game I played, I streamed, played it all the way from beginning to end. I have some friends that say they hate it. I liked it. I like the show Futurama. I like The Simpsons. So I think it's a really fun game and does a really good job capturing that. So let's see. Put Cold Tower 3 back. And Futurama. Haunting Grounds. This All right. Banger. Yeah, dude, I got all these bangers. The camera angles suck though. Oh yeah? You got all the Metal Gear Solid games. Nice. So Metal Gear Solid games that I have are not Mega Man. So for PS2, I've got Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. This is complete. Metal Gear Solid 2, Substance, also complete. Metal Gear Solid 3, Subsistence, also complete. There you go. And then Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, complete. There we go. Put all these back. I don't have any of the GameCube versions of Metal Gear, um, but for PlayStation, let's see. And then I showed you Snake's Revenge and Metal Gear, but then there's the greatest hits version of Metal Gear Solid. And then somehow I also ended up with a regular version of Metal Gear Solid. I've also got a sealed version of Metal Gear that I said, and I have a sealed version of Metal Gear Solid Greatest Hits. So this one I have a sealed copy of. Metal Gear is probably one of my favorite PlayStation games, Metal Gear Solid. And then there's this game. Alex, have you heard of this? Metal Gear Solid VR Missions. This is a lot of fun. You basically go through this VR thing, and you get to play as Cyborg Ninja. Um, and you basically have to either hide from people or destroy things and get to the end. It's a lot of fun. I really like this game. I thought this was a fun little kind of side game from Metal Gear Solid. Twin Snakes, the remake of MGS1, no one asked for. Yeah, they're not perfect, man, but I do think the first one, or the Metal Gear Solid is probably the best of the Metal Gear games in my opinion. So, um, I do mention a lot about Resident Evil, so I do have, you know, Resident Evil for almost every console, but the Resident Evil that I have the most of is probably on GameCube. So I have all the Resident Evils here on GameCube. So we got Resident Evil Zero, Link Box. This is the two disc. Kind of a lot nicer how GameCube does their two discs. You don't have a fatter case like PlayStation, but I can see how that'd be difficult to do on PlayStation. So Resident Evil Zero, Resident Evil. This obviously is the remake version because it's on GameCube, and it's two discs as well. Oh yeah. So I really like four. I think three is my favorite. Kind of skeptical on the three remake because Kojima isn't involved, but we'll see. Yeah, I honestly haven't played too many of the newer ones. Um, and then we got Resident Evil 2, which was on GameCube. A lot of people, I didn't personally know that this was on GameCube. This is not necessarily a remake, I don't think. I think this is just the game. There's nothing really different about Resident Evil 2. And then you've got Resident Evil 3 right here. Nemesis, fun game. This one's one disc. I think Resident Evil 2 is two discs, isn't it? No, one disc. So it's funny that on GameCube, Resident Evil 2 is one disc, but on PlayStation, Resident Evil 2 is actually two discs. So, and then we've got Code Veronica X. So this is X as opposed to just Code Veronica, which was on Dreamcast. Also two discs. There's a few different um, things about it. The couple of the cinematics are a little bit different. And then we got Resident Evil 4, of course. I opened this the other day. If anyone needs a disc 2 for Resident Evil 4, somehow I have an extra one. Let's see, yeah, disc 1, disc 2. Yeah, I have an extra one. I don't know how I got that, but it happened. So, complete in box. And then this preview disc, which is just Resident Evil 4, has a playable demo of Resident Evil 4 and has videos of all the other Resident Evil remakes. So, pretty cool stuff. Those are all the Dreamcast Resident Evils. I'll show you the PlayStation Resident Evils that I have. All right, let me see. Where is Resident Evil? All right, here we go. So, all the Resident Evils I have for PlayStation. I have the RE4 preview disc. Yeah, it's cool. I didn't even know it existed, and I found it, and I was like, well, I love Resident Evil. I got to get it. So I've got Resident Evil. This is the original cover art. Have you played Hitman? I played Hitman back in the day. I think I played it on Xbox, maybe. I don't own it, though. I do not own Hitman, but it's a fun concept and a cool game. So Resident Evil right here, complete in box. Then you got Resident Evil Director's Cut. Now, all these that I'm showing you, I also have a sealed copy that's out in another room. But here's Director's Cut, a little bit different, some different cinematics, and this has a demo of Resident Evil 2 with it. I have a long box version of Resident Evil that's out there too, and it's in pretty pristine mint condition, so I don't have that in here. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, also complete. Um, Not my favorite Resident Evil, this one, but definitely one of the originals. This one's my favorite, Resident Evil 2. So there's your two discs here, Claire and Leon. So this is my favorite one. And then Resident Evil Survivor. This is like a shooting, like a first person shooter kind of game. Kind of like House of the Dead. Think like House of the Dead, where you have like a little target on the screen. You can move it to places to shoot what you need to shoot. But yeah, this is complete. So those are all the Resident Evil games I have there. I think I showed these earlier, but I've got Resident Evil Code Veronica for the Dreamcast, as well as Resident Evil 2 for the Dreamcast. And then I think there was only one Resident Evil game on Nintendo 64. Oh boy, here it is. Resident Evil 2 for Nintendo 64. It's the only one that I know of that exists on Nintendo 64. I even have this Resident Evil game for NES, which I haven't got a chance to play, but I will. I've seen some screenshots from it. It looks pretty interesting. Let's see. PS2. I don't think I have any of the Resident Evils actually. Oh, that's not true. I don't have any of the main story Resident Evils for PS2. What I do have is complete Resident Evil Outbreak and Resident Evil Outbreak file number 2, and then Resident Evil Dead Aim. These are all complete. Little fun, but not the main story to the game. And then last but not least, I've got Resident Evil for the Sega Saturn. So those are all my Resident Evil games. So I don't want to get the Metal Gear Solid remake just because of how badly Konami treated Kojima and screwed over Metal Gear Solid 5. Metal Gear Solid 3 remake is what I'm talking about specifically. I've not played any of the remakes, but I didn't know about the issues that Kojima had. So some cool Sega games too. I don't think we've shown many Sega games today, but Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, definitely a cool, fun game if you haven't played it. And then another fun game is Splatterhouse. Splatterhouse 2 for Sega Genesis right here. So this is this is hard to find in this pristine of condition. So this is Comic Zone for Sega Genesis, and it's a cardboard box. It's not one of the hard plastics, but look how clean. I mean, there's no really bent edges or anything on this game. It's very clean, has everything inside, it's complete, has the CD. There's a CD that has some music on it. That's all in there. This is complete. So fun game where you play in a comic book. So so guys, if you're just tuning in, make sure you drop what your favorite game is in the chat. Make sure you feel free to ask any questions about retro gaming. We're here to talk about anything. We don't judge. Um, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I do new podcasts once a week where I talk to new video game collectors from all over the world. I talked to a guy who had a gold um, Nintendo Wii that was for the Queen of England. He's got like every Nintendo console ever made, even the rare ones. He's got the prototypes and everything. Super Nintendo's been on the show. Make sure you guys check him out. He has a lot of cool Zelda content. We talked all about Zelda. There'll be an episode soon about Resident Evil, with the Resident Evil kind of guru, I guess you could say. And then let's see, we did a Mario episode as well. They marketed Comic Zone hard with the Sega Nomad. Oh yeah, I the Sega Nomad, man, that brings back some memories. I never had one, but that's crazy. Do you like the Resident Evil film? I'll be honest, I think the first film was okay because there was still a little bit where I was like, okay, it's kind of like there's stuff I can see from the game because they're in the mansion and stuff. But as the films progressed, I just wasn't a fan of the Resident Evil film franchise. There was also a one that was made a few years ago that was like Welcome to Raccoon City or something like that, or Escape from Raccoon City. And that one followed the games a little more closely, but the casting was bad and the acting wasn't great. And I don't think that one was any good either. I think there's going to be another film in 2026 that comes out by a really, I don't know his name, but a really well-known horror director for Resident Evil, and he says he's going to follow the games. But I read the IMDb description, and it said something about following a courier through Raccoon City trying to deliver a package or something. I don't know. It seems really silly, but we'll see. We'll see if it's any good. I can't stand any of the Resident Evil movies. Yeah, they're not. I mean, if you're a big fan of the games, they're kind of a little off-putting. So I'm a fan of the original games, one, two, three, Code Veronica, and zero. After you reach four, so four, everyone loves. Everyone thinks four is like the best Resident Evil of all time. I disagree. I don't like the over the shoulder. I think it got rid of sort of the thing that I liked, where you know the camera angle was just right and you could see something here, or the way the camera angles were. I know people hated that, but I think it was is nice to have each room be a different camera angle. It added like some suspense. And the puzzles are much harder in the original games, I feel like. They're more convoluted where you go to one room, then you have to go back to the other room. It's not very linear. I think the newers are a little more linear. Five and six, I didn't like so much. Seven, I played, wasn't a huge fan of it. And eight, I've played for about an hour, and I didn't really like it. I think the newer Resident Evils have kind of gone off course for what all the Resident Evils originally had going for them. I didn't like the atmosphere of four. RE4 barely had any music. I missed the feel and vibes of RE1, 2, and 3. Yeah, yeah, the originals absolutely have good vibes. It's scary. I feel like it's a lot scarier, you know. I will admit, I think Resident Evil 7 was scary. That, the first person and you're in a house and there were some scary moments of it, but it's a different kind of scary. So Resident Evil 9 should be coming out in a little while, and haven't heard anything confirmed about it, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. So, what about The Walking Dead? It's like Resident. Oh yeah, I like The Walking Dead. So I enjoyed The Walking Dead. I probably watched the first four seasons like religiously, and then I kind of stopped watching because it got a little too repetitive for me. But I did like the first several seasons, 100%. I do like it. Then there's the Resident Evil, or there's the Walking Dead game. Like the Telltale series has a Walking Dead game, and I played that for a little bit. I never beat it, but it was fun. I do like all the Telltale games. They are a lot of fun. So, do you like the Resident Evil movies, Alex? And do you like Walking Dead as well? Guys, if you're just tuning in, we have 58 views. That's awesome, and nine current viewers. So that is also awesome. Welcome in. Drop your names, drop a hello, anything you want to say about games. Oh, 10 concurrent viewers now. So just, drop a chat, everybody. Happy to see everybody here. We're just talking about anything you want to talk about, retro game related. And if you don't talk about something, then I'll come up with something, hopefully. Any games you want to see, any recommendations for people to be on the podcast, let me know. I do a new episode every week. We have 22 episodes that I have uploaded, I believe. So a new one every week um, on Wednesdays, every Wednesdays actually. So hit the subscribe and follow. Make sure you get the notifications. Also, make sure you guys like this live. It gets more people in here, and it's fun to meet new people. Fun to talk about retro games. I love learning about stuff I've never learned before, and I love hearing about what people's favorite games are. So you like both of them? Sweet. Yeah, no, they're pretty good. So Alex, what is your favorite game of all time? Like if you could choose any console, any system, anything. And everybody else while you're in here, yeah, why don't you guys say what your favorite games of all time is? I'm very curious on that. Right. 8 viewers, 58 views. Again, this will probably be the last live I do for a little while. I have some plans to do a live video game collectors on call show, which is the name of the podcast, where we do some trivia and put two people head to head, like some music where they'll name um, what game it came from. I also want to do one maybe with some quotes where I say a quote and then the people have to try and guess which movie that quote came from. So Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Never played it. Not my type of game, but I can understand how people like it. So Metroid, oh, that's number two. So Metroid Prime, we were talking about Metroid earlier. So I have both those for the GameCube here. Metroid Prime, and then of course Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Do I have Fear Effect on PS1? Give me just a second. Pretty sure I showed that earlier, didn't I? I got Fear Effect here. Fear Effect, a 4 disc game. So a lot of fun. It's got like this cell shaded graphics kind of there a little bit. So got Fear Effect 1, and then I also have the sequel, Fear Effect 2. I really liked the puzzles in this game. I remember playing it a lot when I was younger. Oops. And yeah, this is the one that's a little bit broken, so this disc doesn't want to stay in there. But probably I might not have been paying attention. Well, pay attention. Yeah, we were showing off games that had multiple discs on PS1. So cool game that people don't know about. I recently learned about Bushido Blade. Check it out. It's a fighting game. It's like a realistic fighting game too. You know, you get hit once with a sword and game over. One of the most unusual and extraordinary fighting games ever. Yeah, that about says it. Favorite game is Maniac Mansion on NES. Oh yeah, Alex, you had mentioned last time I streamed, I think it was you, if I had Maniac Mansion. I didn't have it, but actually, as of today, it's on its way to me in the mail. So I look forward to getting Maniac Mansion, and I'll definitely show that one off once I get it, and I'll do a shout out to you for sure. Oh, I think I left this game out when I was talking about Mega Man games earlier. Mega Man Legends 2. I have Mega Man Legends 1 as well, but Mega Man 64 is essentially Mega Man Legends. So another fun game, Crash Bash. It's like Mario Party, but if Crash Bandicoot was the main character. Pretty fun. These party games are fun to play with friends, so 1 to 4 players, which makes it a lot of fun, just like Mario Party. Speaking of Mario Party, I think I have, let's see, here's all the GameCube versions. So we got Mario Party 4. I do not have the Wave Bird that this came with, unfortunately. I wish I did. Misadventures of Tron Bond, no. That's a game I'm looking for, but it's very expensive. So I do want that game. I've also heard it's not a very good game, so I have a hard time paying $500 for a game that's not very good. So I do at some point want to hopefully get it for a good deal and play it. Mario Party 5, Mario Party 6, and Mario Party 7. So that was 4, 5, 6, 7. So then I also have Mario Party 1. This is Mario Party 2, not for resale. This is Mario Party 3, not for resale. And this is Mario Party 3. I love Misadventures of Tron Bond. I got it for $100. Dude, I would pay $100 for it. No questions asked. If I could find it for 100, I'd buy it. I assume that's complete in box. For PlayStation games, I don't buy unless they're complete in box. So, but yeah, I definitely want to play it. I just don't want to pay $500 for it. I think 600 maybe is what it's going for. You're just paying for the shelf value. Yeah, it's just ridiculous because someone probably bought it one time for 300 and then someone sold it and then got it for 350 and 400. It's just these resellers, man. I'm telling you, they just up the prices. Yes, I did. You'll like it. Great, and amazing game. Fun too. Can't wait to see you play then. Yeah, I'll have to do. There's a whole bunch of games I want to stream, and I'll take requests for games to stream, but that'll be one of them for sure. I typically like to do a lot of the survival horror games, um, but like the older ones, Nintendo, NES, and 64, I do those as well. So once I have more room and can get back into streaming, I'll definitely stream it on here. I'll definitely make a post about it on my Instagram if you don't follow me on Instagram. It's with box but not manual. Oh, okay. 100 bucks. I thought, yeah, you could probably pick up a manual for, well, I mean, it'd probably still be expensive, but it's not going to be as expensive as just buying it complete in box right off the rip. So, 7 viewers, guys, welcome. Thanks for coming in. How games don't use the manuals for the cover art, ever printed piece of it. Oh, okay. I knew that the covers were usually different, but I didn't know it was a completely different piece of paper. So then are the manuals the exact same as the NTSC version, I guess? That I didn't know. Guys, make sure you drop a follow, drop a like. You can stay up to date with the podcast channel, learn new stuff about games, say hi, drop your favorite game. We love talking about games. That's why we're here. Drop any questions, anything you want to know. We're at 7 concurrent viewers right now with 63 views today, so that's good. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see. Probably be on here for another 30 minutes or so we've got some time. Nice to see. I like to see the people who come back. So some of y'all who have been in here before, I appreciate when you guys come back and watch the show again. Manuals are thicker to accommodate more languages, which is why our cases are thicker. Some manuals just reuse the cover art. Some do something different. It depends. I can spot that copy of DKC from a mile away. This one? You talking about this one? Yeah, it's a pretty recognizable cover for sure. No doubt about it. Have you played Broken Sword? I haven't played Broken Sword though. What console is Broken Sword on? I'll have to check it out. I'm gonna look it up right now. See what the going rate for Broken Sword is. Broken Sword. Oh wow. There's one on PlayStation. $40. Looks like PlayStation would be what I'd play it on. Yep. I love that game. You love what, Donkey Kong or Broken Sword, Jeremy? I think you're probably talking about Donkey Kong because I know you and I know you love your Donkey Kong. What does everyone think about the Simpsons games like Bart's Nightmare? PlayStation? Yeah, that's what I saw. What kind of game is it? I'm not a huge fan of RPGs. So if it's an RPG, I might not check it out, but just curious what everyone thinks about the Simpsons games, like the older ones. I'm not talking about like Simpsons Hit and Run. I'm talking about like the Bart's games and stuff. Because there's even the Space Mutants, Bart versus Space Mutants for PlayStation. I thought these games were hit or miss. I think some people like them, some people don't. It's one of my favorite NES games of all time, Donkey Kong 3. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought you were talking about. Burger Time, highly underrated game. If you don't like Burger Time, then there's something wrong with you. This game is so much fun and so cool, especially if you play it on the arcade. Highly recommend if you can play it on the arcade to do that. But you know, Darkwing Duck, one of my favorite cartoons growing up. Hopefully, it was one of yours too. Only Simpsons game I played is the excellent arcade game. Arcade game is a lot of fun. Vague memories of Bart's Nightmare and Krusty's Funhouse. Yeah, those are the ones that I'm talking about. But I don't think they were that great. I mean, they were okay. They weren't anything extravagant. We got DuckTales 1 and DuckTales 2 here. Some some bangers here. Definitely these Disney cartoon games were always a lot of fun. So Guys, you know what's an unnecessarily really difficult game is Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is quite difficult, and I have no idea why, but I didn't like it. I love Ghostbusters. I didn't like the game. You get to level 3 in Burger Time, you're doing something right. Yeah, I'd say level 3. Level 4 is legend. If you make it to level 4 in Burger Time, you're a legend. Making it to level 3, you're like pretty good. Capcom Disney games go for a minute. Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. I don't have that one. The Capcom Disney games. I have also. We were talking about this the other day. Where I don't know what I did with it because I took it out, but the Aladdin game and the Lion King game are different. So yeah. So we got Lion King. See, Lion King made by Virgin there for Super Nintendo. Mario Brothers 3 right here. Heck yeah. That's a shadow box. There's also a Metal Gear Solid shadow, or no, there's a Ninja Turtles shadow box behind it. Sorry, it's a little bit covered up. And I have a Metal Gear Solid shadow box that is actually back here. You can see kind of part of that too. I got to get these all hung up when I get to the new place. So, but anyway, Lion King, look, Virgin, right? So it's made by Virgin. And then you go over here. Okay, well, this one also made by Virgin, right? Okay, but then when you talk about Aladdin, right? So look at this. Aladdin, made by Virgin, okay? Made by Virgin on Sega. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Have you played Tailspin on NES? Tailspin, Tailspin. I thought I had that. Yeah, here it is. Tailspin. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely played it. Oops. It's hard with this camera. It's like backwards all the time. Definitely a lot of Tailspin. All right, so remember Aladdin on Sega, right? Now, where is my Aladdin? Here it is. Look, Capcom. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. We got Aladdin for Super Nintendo made by Capcom, but we got Aladdin for Sega Genesis made by Virgin Games. I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense, guys. Lion King. Virgin used to make good stuff. I love their Spot games. Oh, I want to play the Spot game. I've never played Spot. McKids and Mick and Mac as the Global Areas. Oh yeah, I have a sealed copy actually of McKids. I don't think I have. No, I don't have an unsealed copy, but I do have a sealed copy of McKids. Different publishers. Yeah, but why? It's the same game. I mean, no, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different, but why have Lion King be the same, but then all of a sudden Aladdin's not? I don't get it. Someone needs to explain that to me. It's making me crazy. Guys, feel free to drop your favorite game in the comments. If I don't have it, I will work on getting it. Too many Disney movies to make into games for one publisher. It doesn't make any sense though. They made I don't think it makes any sense. I think they just weren't happy with the way that Capcom or Virgin or was doing it, and so they switched. That's what I think. For reals, y'all did some investigating into this, and I don't know what he found out. Yeah, developers were different, but I don't know what he found out. I think we didn't really find a correct answer, and we may never find a correct answer. Who knows? But guys, if you're just dropping in, you want to see some games, let me know. Another classic game on Dreamcast is Crazy Taxi. You talk about Simpsons, but Simpsons would not exist, Simpsons Road Rage or whatever that game was, unless you have Crazy Taxi. So, and then I picked this up not too long ago, actually, Echo the Dolphin. Love playing Echo the Dolphin. A lot of fun. Another Dreamcast game to add to the collection, which Dreamcast is growing. It's probably one of the smaller collections I have. Tried to figure something out. We couldn't find anything definitive. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, honestly. So, remains to be seen. Guys, like I said, this will probably be the last live that I do for this week. So you won't see me again for probably another week. And then that'll be a couple days before I go to Boston to go to PAX. So if anybody's going to PAX, let me know. But I'm gonna try to record some stuff while I'm there. I don't know how easy that's gonna be, but we'll see. Just so you guys can see some of the cool stuff I see. I have to check and make sure I'm allowed to do that first, but I think I should be allowed to. Make sure you like the live. Make sure you subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram. I show off a lot of my collection on Instagram. I take pictures and show stuff off there. I also do some memes and post some clips from the podcast on TikTok. So you can follow me on TikTok. I do have a Twitch. I haven't been on for a long time to stream, but you can follow me on there. And then you can obviously follow me on here. I do lives every once in a while, maybe one or two times a week. And then I have a podcast that I post every Wednesday with video game collectors from all over the world that I talk, interview. We see cool stuff. They show their rare stuff off. And I also post little clips on here as well, just little kind of memes and stuff on the shorts page. So make sure you follow, make sure you like, make sure you share. Trying to just build a great community here with cool people. Everybody here is already a cool person. Appreciate it. I appreciate you all coming in. Don't forget to drop your favorite game in the chat. We love hearing what everyone's favorite, and everyone's different. Everyone's got different opinions on what makes a great game. So my favorite game might not be yours, and I actually hope it's not because I love learning about new games. If you know of any rare games that you have or have seen, throw them in the chat too. I love rare things like the preview discs for GameCube. Those are pretty cool. Echo the Dolphin was a good game. Have you played Echo the Dolphin 2? No, I haven't played Echo the Dolphin 2. Echo the Dolphin 1, in my opinion. So I played it when I was a lot younger. I had no idea what I was doing. And I've never beat it, but I see people play it now, like streamers, and that they were um I had no idea that was about aliens, which wow, that's crazy. Man, you got Fester's Quest. LL. I don't think I have Fester's Quest. I think I've seen it for sale plenty of times, and I never, no, I don't have it. I never bought it. I do have the Adams Family though. Adams Family Values. Fester's Quest is like I try to so what I try to do when it comes to what games do I buy. So when I originally started, I bought games that I remember having as a kid or remember playing. And so those are the games I started with. Then I went on to, okay, what games do I want to play? So then I started to buy those games, the ones I want to play. And then now what I'm doing is also buying ones that look interesting to me that I want to play. But if someone suggests a game to me, then I also try and find that for a good deal and buy that. Because I take suggestions seriously. If people have played a game and they're like, yeah, it's a good game, check it out, I believe it. So that doesn't always work out because one time, let's see, I'm trying to find, well, I don't know where it is, but there's a game. See, I told you I had Silent Hill. I didn't show that earlier because I couldn't find it, but it's right there. So it's not. Is that red SNES cart Doom or Maximum cartridge? Oh, what I was saying too is that Time Commando. I couldn't find it, but that was recommended to me. I bought it, but it was terrible. I regret buying it, but I take recommendations. So is the red SNES cart Doom or Maximum Carnage? Uh, which one? Doom, Maximum Carnage. Both of them. They're both you. I think the Maximum Carnage was a little bit hidden and you couldn't see it, but it's here. There we go. Yeah, they have a lot of different color cartridges on Super Nintendo, which is cool. They have the two red ones, and they have the um, Killer Instinct, which was pretty cool too. Killer Instinct was black, and then N64 also did the multicolor cartridges. Hi, Doctor, new subscriber here. I'm joining the chat. Oh, Raj Ram, thanks, man. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. Feel free to drop your favorite game in the chat. Appreciate you following me, man. Oh wow, nice. I can only see them all on top shelf. Yeah. And then the cool thing, you know, Nintendo has always done this, made like different color carts. So like Rocket right here is red, and you got Batman Beyond. which is the black cart here. Then two yellow carts here. We got Donkey Kong and we got Earthworm Jim. Let's see. I know there's a blue card if I can find it. We got blue and yellow actually, and black. So I don't know what the developers of Tony Hawk were thinking, but they were like, we're just gonna do one of each different color. So they have Tony Hawk, which is blue. They got Tony Hawk 2, which is yellow. And they got Tony Hawk 3, which is black. Army Men games on the 64. Yep, Army Men is green. That is correct. I don't think I have any of the Army Men games, but Turok 3 is black. By the way, you want to talk about a game with horrible controls? Turok. I mean, it's a great game, great concept, but I think the controls are just so difficult. And then this blue one here, 007, World's Not Enough. Yeah, I don't have any of the Army Men games on 64. I have them on PlayStation. I usually, unless it's Resident Evil, I don't buy the games for multiple consoles because again, I just want to play them. But if they're different, I do. And for reals, y'all has let me know. Like Beavis and Butthead is different on Sega versus Super Nintendo. I don't have the Sega version, but I want to get it. The Lion King games are different and the Aladdin games are different. So that's why I have those on both consoles because they're a little bit different. The other one that's different is the uh, this this game on Super Nintendo is different than the game on Sega Genesis, which I also have. A little beat up with the case here. It's one of those cardboard cases, but it's complete. And these two games are actually different, which is interesting. Hello, do you play Roblox? I do not play Roblox. I do not play Roblox. Um, Never really got into it. Do you play Roblox? I guess you do since your name is Roblox. I know you like horror games. Have you played Outlast? I haven't played Outlast. Tell me about Outlast because I've not played it. Is it on a newer console? So yeah, there's games that are different on different consoles. Oh, and then obviously color wise, we forgot about Zelda. Can't forget about this is shout out to Super Nintendo who loves Zelda. Majora's Mask right here. And then this is like a fan made game, I think, but Zelda: The Missing Link. This one I haven't played yet. I think I put this in my 64. I'm trying to remember if it worked or not. I think you have to have a special Nintendo 64, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I remember the 90s companies just used to license their IPs out for video games all the time, and usually games made no sense. It wasn't like the source material at all. Yeah, 100%, dude. I remember that. It's just like you would make a game for one console, but then the other console, it was made by someone else, and the game was completely different. It was wild. After my most favorite SNES game was the one you just said, Killer Instinct? Really? Okay. Your cousin borrowed it and lost it. That's too bad, man. It's pretty cheap, I think. I think Killer Instinct, if I'm not mistaken, if you still have a Super Nintendo and you don't have it, pick it up. It's pretty cheap. But Killer Instinct, I would say, is a pretty good fighting game. I did play a lot of it when I was in like elementary school. I'm more of a Mortal Kombat guy when it comes to fighting games. I like Mortal Kombat, and I like the Marvel vs. Capcom game, and those are it for fighting games. Do you have Resident Evil 2 for N64? Right here, Resident Evil 2 for N64. I have Resident Evil 2 for N64, for GameCube, PlayStation. I think that's it. I have, and PC if you want to count that. I have the remake on PC, but Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil is my favorite series of all time. My most favorite N64 games were Killer Instinct Gold. I don't have Killer Instinct Gold. MK Trilogy. Mortal Kombat Trilogy right here. Good game, definitely. So if you're a fan of some of the fighting games, what do you think of this one? What do you think of Sub-Zero Mythologies? I'll tell you my opinion, but I want to hear your opinion first. Sub-Zero, it's a little worn there. There was a sticker someone tried to take off, but it wasn't me. I bought it that way. I would not try to take that sticker off. I don't, yeah, and I don't have, pretty sure I don't have Killer Instinct Gold. Yeah. Nope, not in there. Killer Instinct's good. I don't know a lot about the lore and stuff, but I remember the skeleton guy with like the shield and the sword. That's who I like to always play as, the skeleton guy. Mortal Kombat, I'm always a Scorpion or Liu Kang. Sometimes I switch back and forth, but even in the newer ones, I always play as Scorpion or Liu Kang. I think one of the newer ones I like to play is Bo Raicho a lot. He was pretty the guy that like drinks a lot and burps. Is Resident Evil Code Veronica X worth playing? Yes, 100%. So, Resident Evil Code Veronica X. So, you got Resident Evil on Dreamcast, okay? But you got Resident Evil Code Veronica X on GameCube. The reason there's an X here is because they changed some of the cinematics to add. It's kind of like a director's cut. That's how I look at it. But this is in my top three Resident Evil games of all time. So Code Veronica, well, really Code Veronica, because this is the one I played the most. This one's a little bit different, like I said, but still it's the same story essentially. It doesn't change enough to make it a completely different game. So I would highly recommend playing it. And you can play it on GameCube or you can play it on Dreamcast or PS2. It's also on PS2. Spinal. Oh, that's the dude's name. You're right. Spinal. Yep. Good call. Nice. See, that's why I love having people in here because if I don't know the answer and no one else does, someone will eventually know the answer to the question. So, guys, make sure you drop, a follow, drop some likes. I have an Instagram where I share pictures of my collection. I'll be moving soon, so I'll have a better setup. And I'll have a game room tour, let you guys see all that. Does Lisa show up in Code Veronica? Does Lisa show up in Code Veronica? I don't think so. Lisa Trevor, right? Is that who you're talking about? I don't think she shows up in Code Veronica. It's been a minute since I played it, but I don't think so. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Alien Roblox, are you a big fan of Resident Evil? Since you've been asking a lot of Resident Evil questions, you've come to the right place if you're a big fan of Resident Evil. I have a lot of Resident Evil stuff. I have this game for NES, which I'm excited to find a way to pop in and play, but it's more of just like a decoration piece at this point. So, where'd that come from? There we go. Yeah, she's only in RE Remake. Yep, that's what I thought. MK Anniversary was a few days ago. Oh, really? Wishing for MK Ultimate Anniversary HD Collection in the style of TMNT Cowboy Collection. That'd be cool. I'm surprised yeah, I'm sure they'll do that. I I played the newest Mortal Kombat. Was it MK1 or something? So that was good. I love Lisa. I wish I could see her again in Resident Evil 9. It was a cool addition to the RE remake. I did think that was a cool addition. Hope she didn't die in the explosion of RE1. Yeah, she probably did though. But I was talking about this the other day with someone that some of the changes they made in RE1 were actually pretty cool. So I don't know if you guys know this, there's also a Resident Evil 1.5. So when they made Resident Evil 2, they got like 60, 70, I don't know, no one knows the exact number, but they got almost three-fourths of the way done with the game, and they completely scrapped it and said, no, we're going to go a different direction. So there's different characters, it's different environments too, a different story and everything, Resident Evil 2, but or Resident Evil 1.5, and then they went with Resident Evil 2. So highly recommend looking into that if you haven't seen it. You can actually buy it to play. You have to have a special modification on your PlayStation to be able to play it, but I love RE1 Remake, such a good game. Yeah, I think the RE1 Remake was good. Um, like I said, once we get to Resident Evil 4, things change a lot, and I don't think they changed for the better. I think Resident Evil 4 was a good game, don't get me wrong, I liked it. But after that, you have Resident Evil 5. Raj Ram, I'm still stalking you. It's time to wake up. What's going on? Time to wake up. Welcome in. Raj Ram, it sounds like you've got somebody following you around. Make sure you guys drop a like, drop a follow, get some more people in here. We can chat about some cool video game stuff. Any questions you have, feel free to ask. Subscribe to the podcast. It's on YouTube. Put your notifications on. new video game collectors interviewed from all over the world every week. Justice for Elza Walker. RE1 is a hard game to speedrun for me. I don't I don't do speedrunning. I just play them. I just play games just to experience it and have fun. I've never been about speedrunning. If you guys like speedrunners, Grant, who plays games, who has been on my podcast, I interview him. He's got a lot of records for Super Nintendo, some rare ones as well. He has a complete collection of all Super Nintendo games. He's a really fun, really cool guy. Recommend you check him out. Guys, we're at 90 views today. We've not quite been going for 2 hours yet, and we have 13 viewers. I think this is the most I've had, so appreciate everyone being here. Thanks for coming in. Feel free to drop your favorite game in the comments, or if you have recommendations for a game or you want to see a game to see if I have it, let me know. I could be RE3 remake in 2 hours, 7 minutes. That's good. That's good. I'm not that good. I take my time, honestly, and I think, the hardest Resident Evil game that I played of the originals was probably geez, probably is it still fun to collect? Are you still passionate about it? Trevor, welcome in. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, no, I actually recently favorite color. Favorite color is blue. I actually recently started collecting again. So when I grew up, I had games, but somewhere between going to college, going to medical school, all that stuff, I had sold them, gotten rid of them. And then when I got a job, got out of medical school because I didn't have time, got out of residency, I started collecting again. So this has probably been about a year and a half of me collecting so far. And I probably had like 20 to 30 games when I started that I had kept because I was like, oh, I'm always going to keep GoldenEye because it's got a lot of memories for me. It's funny in Remake 2, Claire has an alternate Elza Walker costume. Yeah, the alternate costumes are crazy, man. I There's some people who play the Resident Evils and they're like, I gotta unlock everything. But I personally, I just wanted to beat it and know the story, know what happened. So, guys, drop your favorite game in the comments, your favorite console, whatever you want to talk about. Which is the most expensive game you have? Well, the most expensive game of that's open and not sealed or anything like that. So if you want to talk about sealed, I have a graded copy in another room, which I'll show on the stream in a future live stream. It's a Siphon Filter 3, but it's the flag variant. So what that means is on the front, the cover is different than the released version. So they released a copy of Siphon Filter 3 and it was released on 9/11 and there was on the front it looked too much like it just didn't fit with the time what was going on. They didn't want to release it. So they took all those copies and pulled them off the shelves. They hole punched them so that people wouldn't sell them to each other. So I have a copy that's sealed, not hole punched, so it's even more rare and it's graded. It's a 9.8. So it's pretty expensive. I also have a sealed copy of Super Mario Brothers 3 for NES, a Left Bros copy. So this is a copy most people are familiar, but there's a Left Bros copy that was an earlier print. Where are we at here? Where this Bros is actually over here more. It's called Left Bros. So I have a sealed copy of that. Now, if you want to know the most expensive game I have that is open, it's gonna be this is the most expensive game I probably have. I don't think this game is worth as much as it costs, but it's a fun game. It's survival horror. I like survival horror games. So Rule of Rose is the most expensive one. I feel like I don't have the passion for collecting because I can just emulate and the prices are sky high. Also, can you point to your digastric plane? I'm kidding. Well, the games are quite expensive, that's for sure. Hopefully that will change. I think the problem is, we talked about this earlier, people sell a game to someone who buys it for $50. Then they sell it for 75 so they can make a profit. Then they sell it for 100 so they can make a profit. And it's just been inflating the prices. And I see people all the time. I saw someone who bought a copy of Kuon on a live auction, got it for $1,000 and said, "Great, I can't wait to sell this for 1,500." Same thing's going on with Switch 2 prices. People are charging all kinds of prices because people will pay it. So I would say don't um, don't pay those prices. Super Famicom is my favorite, and Pokemon Blue is my favorite game. Super Famicom's nice. I don't have one. And Pokemon Blue, I never got into the original Pokemon games, but I know a lot of people who do. I want to do an episode on my podcast where we talk about Pokemon, but I need someone who is a self-proclaimed expert and knows about all the games. Because there's a lot of games. Let's see. Maybe in the Myra in this chat, I really love Remake 4. More horror centric. I enjoyed it from start to finish. Anticipates tomatoes. Yeah, I mean, I liked 4 in general. I don't think it was a bad game, but definitely my top are Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil Code Veronica, and Resident Evil 1. Those are my top three. So, do you like Splinter Cell Saga? It's sad they let it die. Metal Gear Solid is good too, though. I love Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell, in my opinion, is the most fun in any multiplayer game I've ever had. I wish they would remake it. Actually, if Jeremy Kronberg is still in here, he and I are gonna, and if anyone else wants to do this, if you get a modded Xbox, apparently you can play Splinter Cell online with people where you can do Mercs vs. Spies, and it's a ton of fun. So I highly recommend, you know, if you haven't played multiplayer, finding a way to do it because being able to be a spy and sneak around, it's just a very cool, innovative franchise. And I had heard they were going to remake a Splinter Cell game, and I hope if they do, it's multiplayer again because that was a lot of fun. Metal Gear Solid is good too, though. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid is a good franchise too. I love Metal Gear Solid, the original one. The newer ones I haven't liked as much. Because you're a medical man, I sure am. Here in New Zealand, you can get some good deals on Xbox 360, PS3, PS1 titles will cost you $40 even for a sports game. Wow. Yeah, most sports games here are like $5. Not too expensive, but yeah, I don't collect anything newer really than PS2. So in my collection I have NES, Super Nintendo, N64, Dreamcast, PS1, Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn, Sega CD, PS2, GameCube. I think that's everything. The reason is because those were the consoles I had growing up, and those are the ones that I have the most nostalgia for. I also have a Switch and an Xbox One. I don't necessarily collect for those. I just see games I want to play and buy them and play it. So, love the channel. My channel just turned 14 years old. Wow, that's awesome. 14 years old. I think I've been doing this. I don't think I've been doing this a year yet. I started in November. So, was that like 6 months? So, do you still study anatomy? I don't really study per se, so for that reason I emulate. Yeah, it's so sad that, emulate's good. I have nothing against people who emulate. I think it's a nice way to play games that you're not necessarily gonna be able to get because they're so expensive, and you shouldn't, waste money that could go to your rent or something or on a vacation. You can go on a vacation instead of paying $1,100 for Kuon. So I think emulating's good for that. I like to have physical copies, so if I can find a good deal, I will get it. I just subscribed, you'll get more subs. It's just about staying consistent. Oh yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate you, Caleb. Thanks for coming by, taking time out of your day. So so I appreciate it, especially being in New Zealand. What time is it in New Zealand? It's got to be like 3, 4 a.m. It's funny that you're from New Zealand. I've never been, and in July I want to take a trip, and I'd like to go to Australia. I'm in the U.S. I'd like to go to Australia, but also go to New Zealand while I'm there. So I think Auckland was on the itinerary as well as Queenstown. I think those might be the two cities. 9 a.m. Dang, it's tomorrow over there. Wow, on a Monday. Oh my gosh. So I'm 4 o'clock right now. So wow, that's a that time difference has got to be rough. I just bought Code Veronica. I thought it wasn't an important game for the saga. No, it's an important game. I love Code Veronica. One of my favorites. I can remember spending so much time playing that game when I was younger. So if you come here and let me know, I'm in Auckland. Oh, sweet. I can show you around. No, definitely. That's the other thing I love about this community is I've met a lot of cool people from all over the world, like the Netherlands, like Sweden, like Germany, like the UK, all over the US. So, some point I'd love to meet some of these people in person. You have to show me where to buy the good games. Those are so the games in New Zealand are all PAL, right? I know this is probably a stupid question, but I, is New Zealand is PAL, right? Battletoads, have you played that game? Battletoads. We got Battletoads Double Dragon right here, and we got Battletoads Battle Maniacs. These are all very uh, difficult games. The Battletoads games are a lot of fun, very difficult. They're a lot more fun if you play with somebody, so I highly recommend that. I'm from South Spain, a city called Malaga. Yeah, I know where that is. I'd like to get to Spain at some point too. Um, I do speak Spanish. It's more of a Mexican Spanish though, so I don't know how well it goes over in Spain because I know it's a little bit different. What did the lysosome say to the waste of the cell? It's time to take out the trash. Okay, I see what you did there. Nice. Cash converters, pawn stores, and yes, pal. Okay, cool, pal. Yeah, so, well, let me ask you this, Caleb. If I go to New Zealand and look for video games, will I find any games that are NTSC? And will they be cheaper than they would be if I was here? Because I want to go to Japan, because I feel like in Japan I could find some NTSC games that are a lot cheaper, but I don't know. 2220 in UK. So what is that? 8 hours? I've interviewed a lot of people, Alex, from the UK on my podcast. So I have a couple coming up. So yeah, we always have to, the timing is a little difficult when I record with them, but they always get it done. Malaga, I have family there in El Palo. Nice, that's awesome. I would show you around, but I'm 12. Oh no, that's cool. No worries, man. No worries. Do you have a lot of video game stores in Spain? I've never been to a video game store in another country, so I think that would be cool to do. I live in Norway though, and I'm half Norwegian. For reals, y'all, what's your other half? Is it Spanish? Is that because your family's in Spain, so your other half is Spain? I see my jokes are landing. Well, you got to know your audience. I don't think that many people have the medical background here. Are you in medicine somehow, Trevor? More common, but not much price difference. They don't pay attention. Ah, I got you. But Japan, you find amazing prices. Yeah, because we thought about flying over to Japan and then shooting down to Australia because the flight to Australia is like 17, 18 hours and it would break it up a little bit at least. So they don't fall into the price trap. That's good. Half Spanish, half Norwegian. Nice. For reals, y'all, what languages do you speak? I imagine you speak quite a few then. I don't collect games. Most of the games I buy are digital copies. Gotcha. Okay. Are you buying a lot of Switch or Xbox or what's your go-to console? Oh, PC, I think, maybe like Steam. I don't buy a lot of digital. Let me know if you come to Malaga this summer. See, this is what I love about collecting and the collecting community is people just make connections and know people and it's nice. It's fun. It's good to meet new people. So guys, again, I appreciate all of you being here, taking time out of your days or your mornings. Some of you are coming to us live from the future in New Zealand, so I appreciate that. I spoke broken English at the best of times, even though English is my main language is just empathy for social interaction. Okay. I speak Norwegian, English, and Japanese, though my Japanese is not fluent. I sadly haven't gotten good at Spanish, and my relatives are so good at English. Oh, yeah, that's nice. That makes it nice for you. So I'm pretty fluent in Spanish and English as well. I don't know any Japanese, so that's my only worry about going to Japan is that I wouldn't be able to get around that easily. But I know a lot of people there speak English, especially when it comes to like stores and restaurants. I appreciate the offer, but I don't want to meet up with someone so young that I'm not related to. But it's very kind of you. Yes, yeah, that's a good point for reals, y'all. That is a good point. But you know, if there if there's any cool stuff that he should see, you can type it in here and just let him know, like, hey, make sure you see this building or something, because I love traveling, I love seeing new stuff and seeing the sights. So there are so many people from northern countries of Europe buying houses here because of the weather, I guess. Oh, is the weather really nice in Spain? I I, th- I imagine it gets cold at times in Spain, right? I know when I went to England, maybe last year, I think it was a little chilly. I don't know what, I think I went in like, oh gosh, I don't even know what month I went there. So, guys, if you're just tuning in, Feel free to drop your favorite game in the comments, your favorite console, any questions you want to know, any topics you want to talk about with games. We're excited to talk about whatever. Make sure you follow, make sure you like the live. That helps get people in here, helps us grow this community. So we greatly appreciate it. Spain is a wonderful country to travel to. I have to go to Barcelona sometime. I've only really been in Malaga. Yeah, I've never been to Spain, but I would like to go. I've heard it's beautiful. I'd recommend buying profitable items from Goodwill like scientific calculators, shoes, collectibles, build up cash flow, buy what you want, resell. Austin Heroics is a good channel to check. Okay, that's good advice. Um, I just go straight for it and just buy my games. I try to find good deals. A lot of times, people who sell games, especially if you go to a game store and the people like know you, you come in frequently, they'll let you know when they have some new stuff that you might want and you get first dibs at it. They also have deals sometimes. So I've bought like 3 or 4 games from somebody and gotten one free or gotten some percentage off. So a couple stores will have sales every once in a while too. I want to visit Barcelona when the FC Barcelona stadium is done. Oh, are they building a new stadium? I didn't know that. Did not know that. 9 viewers in the chat right now with 104 views today. That's awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all for stopping by and being here. Any questions or, things about video games you want to talk about? Just drop it in the chat. I appreciate all the new people that have come in today too. That's awesome. We've got some regulars that have been in a few times, but we also got some new people, so that's good. You can also buy games to sell to stores and build up trade credit. Yeah, I don't like to. So the only games that I ever sell or trade in is if I have doubles of it, or um, really that's the only reason. Or if I don't have the means to play it. So example of that is I bought like a lot of games one time, and someone sent me this Game Boy Advance game, and it's got nothing on it. So I actually found out what it was because I was able to put it into a Game Boy Advance, but it's Lord of the Rings, but I don't have a way to play it. So this I'll probably trade in and get some credit for. And I have a couple doubles because I buy lots, and so when I get a double, I just put it in the double pile and I go trade it in. Can I see your NES? Are you able to move the camera? Not really able to move the camera. My NES is actually, since I'm moving soon, my actual NES is in a box. So it's boxed up right now. And what I've been playing NES games on for the time being is something called a Retron, and it can play NES, Super Nintendo, Sega, and Super Famicom games, I think. It can also play, I think that's it. So it can play like those four, yeah, 4 different things. It's like blue and has like some pink on the top. That's what I've been playing those games with. Everything, whoops, oop, bumped the camera there. Everything on this side of the camera is a mess. So you guys don't want to see. This is a very small room. I'm going to have a bigger room where I have like a game room, everything's set up. Um, much more space. I'm going to put some arcade games in there, some posters on the wall, and it'll look much cooler. Once that's done, I'll show you guys for sure. I just bought a mid-range phone with 12 gigabytes RAM, used PS Edition back over right, emulate around to PS3. That's cool. That's awesome. Where'd you buy that console? Well, they sell them, I know for sure, at different game stores. I think I got it at a game store. I got it at a retro game store. I think you can get it on Amazon. Here, let me look it up for you. Let me look it up. Um, I I think you can get it on Amazon. If I find a picture for it, yeah, I can buy Retrons anywhere. That's what I thought. Let me get a picture for you so you know exactly what it is. It's the Retron 5. Here it is. So it looks like this. That's the Retron 5. That's the one I have. It comes with a wireless controller there and a wired controller. You can buy extra controllers from it, but they have other ones too. They have ones that just play like Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo. They have ones that I think just play NES and they're cheaper. They have ones that don't have the wireless controller. Sometimes thrift stores have them dirt cheap, pawn shops too. Yeah, I have never seen any in a pawn shop or thrift store. I very rarely get any good deals when I go to pawn shops or thrift stores for video games. The only good deal I ever got, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of half price books, but half price books are place here in the U.S. that sells like media. They have CDs, movies, board games, even, and books, but they also have games occasionally. And so I bought Snowboard Kids 1 and Snowboard Kids 2 that came with these cool custom cases. Just the game, they're just loose, but they're pretty good shape. And I pretty much got them both for 50% off because of the price they had. So sometimes thrift stores, you can find some good deals. This is the only good deal I've ever found. I know people find deals all the time. Like if you go to Goodwill and look in the thrift section of the CDs, you can find a PlayStation game that got in there. That's never happened to me. So didn't know does it connect with an HDMI to yeah, connects with an HDMI. Yep. Yeah, it has actually a port, so you don't need an adapter or anything. There's a input or an output HDMI on the back of it, and you just connect it to your TV. So I call them half price crooks due to their ridiculous prices. Yeah, the prices are pretty high, but I was surprised that this was so low. And I mean, the game worked. The games are in good condition. They're 50% off, so I had to do it. Every once in a while, I'll go into one of their places. 9 a.m. on a Monday, huh? That's crazy. It's like you're from the future right now. What's Monday like? I wonder. We got 12 people in here, guys. We're having some good chats about cool stuff. All things retro video game related. Drop your favorite game in the chat, whatever you want to talk about. We're just here to talk about games. We got some people from all over the world. We got somebody from Spain. We got somebody from the Netherlands. Um, or Norway, sorry. Not the Netherlands. The new N64 console. Are you talking about the analog, the console that Analog made? Wet weather and storms. Oh no. I heard that it rains a lot in New Zealand. Now, what's the weather going to be like in New Zealand if I come in July? Australia, New Zealand, July. Hit me with the weather info. I heard it's going to be like 60 if I come during that time. But yeah, the new N64 console made by Analog, if that's the one you're talking about. HDMI, I didn't get one. Um, I would like them to make a Nintendo 64 console where kind of like Analog, but the only thing I would add is you can play online. So let's say, Caleb, you have GoldenEye for N64, I have GoldenEye for N64. We both put the cartridge in, we can log in online, we can play against each other. I think that would be cool. Lots of cyclones. July's towards winter should be stable. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I don't want any cyclones while I'm over there. Yeah, you guys are backwards. Your toilets flush the opposite direction of the ones here. Isn't it crazy that you're in New Zealand and I'm here in the United States and we're talking about video games? I just think that's kind of awesome. I don't know. Weather's unpredictable, mostly stable in winter due to our climate. What, okay, what airline companies are ones to use in New Zealand and like is Air New Zealand good? I think Virgin is the one I saw a lot of. Is that good? Because that's what I we were looking at in terms of air because we're gonna fly to a couple cities in Australia, maybe. We're gonna go to Sydney, we're gonna go to Port Douglas, we're gonna go to I say Melbourne, but I know that you guys are Australians, they say Melbourne, but those are the cities we were gonna go to over there. Virgin is good. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was trying to just look for something cheap because it wasn't like a very long flight. So and like I'm a tourist, so I do like touristy things when I go places. I like to see stuff. So one of the things we were looking at was there's like a Hobbit Town tour. Is that is that overrated? I don't know. I like Lord of the Rings, so I think it'd be cool to see like the little Hobbit houses and there's like the glowworms cave. So that's something else we were looking at. There's also a like a boat tour of one of the fjords, I think. Avoid Jetstar. Okay, good. Yeah, I saw Jetstar. That's probably like yeah, that seems like one of the cheaper airlines because their price is really cheap and I don't know. Hobbiton is good if you like them. Okay, sweet. I thought that Jetstar was probably not a good airline because their tickets were very cheap. Plus, it said after you bought the tickets, you also had to pay for your luggage, like even your carry-on. So I was like, by the time you pay all that, it's always the same price anyway, and you get better service. So 11 concurrent viewers, guys. If you are just popping in, make sure you drop what your favorite video game of all time is, what your favorite console is, any questions, any games you want to see. If you got any questions about any games, or any recommendations you want to make, let me know. Let me know. I'll probably do this for a little bit longer. This is a lot of fun, guys. Um, Make sure you follow the podcast so it's on YouTube. Set up your alerts. If I put new episodes up every Wednesday, you'll get alerted when those go online. It's different time, but it's Wednesday. Unless you live in New Zealand, then the new episodes actually go up on Thursday, I guess. So, but check them out. There's some cool stuff. You'll see some cool things. You'll learn some cool stuff. I can take you to where the Alien Covenant was made. Oh, okay, sweet. I feel like a lot of movies are probably filmed in New Zealand. I've heard that New Zealand is just absolutely beautiful. So, Milford Sound, that's it. Milford Sound, that's the one. There's like a boat tour of Milford Sound. So, but yeah, follow the YouTube guys. Make sure you like this broadcast so we get more people in here. It's a lot of fun, and make sure you follow me on Instagram. I show off pictures of my collection, and I have a TikTok where I post a lot of funny memes. So if you like laughs, they're funny to me. They might not be funny to you, but hey, to each his own. He's Minecraft was too. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Very cool stuff. Caleb's the only one chatting right now, and I know there's 12 of you in here right now, so don't be afraid. We don't bite. Just make sure you guys drop your favorite game, something cool you want to talk about. Or I'll just start showing off random games like Dynamite Cop over here for Dreamcast, which is a pretty fun game. Dreamcast, I think, is one of the most underrated consoles. Or maybe I'll show off Donkey Konga, which has the bongos, which I do have the bongos. So I'm a content creator too. Do you do video games? Do you do Roblox stuff? What do you do, Elian? Maybe their fingers fell off. It's possible. Possible, dude. I don't know. But guys, I can see that there are 11 people in here, and I mean, this is more fun when more of you chat and say stuff. So, if you don't want to, that's fine. I get it. But otherwise, I'll just show stuff. Doctor, my most favorite is Perfect Dark. Did you ever play it? Did I ever play Perfect Dark? Come on, man. Hold up. Let me get it for you here. Let me find it. Perfect Dark, right there. There it is. Perfect Dark is one of those ones that you have to have the expansion pack for it to be more fun. So um, I highly recommend the expansion pack. And then obviously Goldeneye. So Rajram, let me ask you this. I'll give you my opinion, but which of these games is better? Which of these is actually? I'll ask everyone in the chat. Everyone who thinks Perfect Dark better? Who thinks Goldeneye better, and why? I want to know. Doctor, my most favorite game is Perfect. Oh, yeah, I'm excited for the new Silent Hill game. Oh, I didn't know about the new Silent Hill. That's cool. I have all the Silent Hills on PS2 and I have PS1 Silent Hill as well. I played 1 and 2. I need to play through the rest of them. I'll do that on a stream sometime. Hi again, still here. Alex, thanks for sticking around. Appreciate it. I post dances. Okay, cool. Very cool. All right. So, if you just popped in, what I'm looking is for people to post their opinions. Who likes Perfect Dark more? Who likes Goldeneye more? And why? And I'm not going to give my opinion until you guys do. I don't want to influence anyone's opinion. So choices are Perfect Dark Nintendo 64 or GoldenEye for Nintendo 64. Choose one. You can only choose one, guys. 2 hours and 19 minutes of stream right now. I think this is one of my longer streams, guys, but it's been fun because there's been so many people in here. I don't, if I was smart enough, I'd know how to put like a poll so you guys could choose which one of these games, but I don't know how to do that. I don't even know if that's possible. I'm gonna get my day started. Cool meeting you. We'll catch you next live stream. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, they'll probably come on in the middle of the night or early morning for you. So But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you next time. Guys, is anyone listening out there? What do you guys like better? Perfect Dark or GoldenEye? Which of these two Nintendo 64 games do you think is the best one out of the two? You can't choose a third one. You have to choose between those two. Does anyone have any input on that? GoldenEye because it's fun to play with friends. All right, we got one vote for GoldenEye from Alex. Anybody else? I'm gonna assume Raj is gonna say we'll give him a vote for Perfect Dark. Anybody else in here that wants to take a vote? GoldenEye. So that's two for GoldenEye. So we got two GoldenEyes. We got one Perfect Dark. Anybody else have a vote? Multiplayer. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, Perfect Dark had multiplayer too. So can't just say because it had multiplayer, but maybe if you think the multiplayer was more fun, I get that. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna give my opinion. So my opinion is that I choose GoldenEye because I think overall Perfect Dark was a more fun game. The weapons were better. There were a lot of like the laptop gun was pretty cool, that kind of stuff. But the one player game was more fun on GoldenEye for starters. And if this game never existed, if this game never came out, I don't think you would have this game. And that's just my opinion. Because let's see, what's the copyright on this? 96, 95. They came out, I guess, soon after each other, but I mean, this game really started the genre of multiplayer first-person shooters to where you got to a point where you had games like Halo, which were so much fun. That's just my opinion, my 2 cents. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's wrong. Everybody has their own opinion. Dr. Goldeneye is like a McDonald's burger, and Perfect Dark is like Gordon Ramsay's burger. Yeah, right. But Gordon Ramsay would have never existed if McDonald's never existed. That's just my opinion. It's my opinion. I spent a lot more time playing GoldenEye with my friends when I was younger, but they're both great games. Don't get me wrong. They both really revolutionized the genre of first-person shooters and multiplayer games. So probably some of the funnest multiplayer games on the Nintendo 64. I never played these games. Oh, okay, that's fair. No problem. Yeah, you're a little bit younger for those games because they came out in 1995, 1996, somewhere around there. So, all right, guys, 2 hours and 22 minutes. I'll do about 10 more minutes of stream here. So now's your time. Ask anything you want. GoldenEye had good music too. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, what do you think about that, Raj? GoldenEye's music. I don't think I cannot name one. I cannot recognize one song from uh I cannot recognize any songs from Perfect Dark off the top of my head, but I can recognize plenty from GoldenEye. So especially that pause music. That pause music on GoldenEye was legendary. I was born in 2013. Gotcha. Very cool. Yeah, so a lot of these are a lot of games that you probably have never seen or heard of before. These are some older games here. So, but I do play some newer games like stuff on Switch and stuff on Xbox. So, 10 viewers, guys, make sure you like the chat. Yes, GoldenEye had the best. All right, that's fair. See, Raj, we can agree on that. GoldenEye had the best music for sure. Okay, fair enough. The defense rests, Your Honor. So again, guys, make sure you follow all my social medias. There's a link tree in there to look stuff up. I do podcasts every week. Once a week, I post a new episode every Wednesday. It's a new video game collector from all over the world. If you have recommendations for people to see on it, I'm gonna start streaming in a few months once I can get a better setup. I did some streaming early on of a few games through Twitch, so you can follow me there. Instagram has my just videos and account pictures of my games and stuff. So definitely love meeting new people, talking about games, hearing about people's games, even if their opinions are wrong. Raj, no, I'm just kidding, just kidding. So everyone has their own opinion on what's a good game, and I think that's great because there are some games that people like that I've never heard of, and they tell me about it, and then I get to play it, and I'm like, wow, how did I miss out on this game? So again, thank you all for being here and discussing all that. So does anybody let's see, anybody get a Switch 2? what's the, I know a lot of you are from not in the United States, so I'm not sure what the situation for pre-orders in other countries was like, but here it was a little rough. I didn't have any interest in getting a Switch 2, so I'm not really upset that I didn't get one. But I never even got a Switch. I think the Switch had been out for at least a year before I got one. I got the OLED one though. GoldenEye has the best levels too. Yeah, I think it has like better single like for the single player. You talking about single player, multiplayer, or both? Because I could see an argument for both, but I think definitely the single player levels are a lot better in GoldenEye for sure. And viewers, welcome in everybody. Thanks for coming. Happy to have you all here. Happy to talk about gaming stuff. We've had 111 views, which is my biggest view on any live. So thank you all for coming in here. I appreciate it. GoldenEye has the best levels for sure. Anybody got any gaming plans coming up anytime soon? Any new games that you're getting ready to start or play? Don't be afraid, people. Just chat into the chat box there. We're all about chatting here. Sometimes it gets a little boring because I don't like talking to myself all the time, and then I just start, grabbing random games. Like we got Last Action Hero here for Super Nintendo. Oops, here we go. Heard that's a pretty good game. It's a pretty good movie, sure. Love dinosaurs, so Jurassic Park. It's a fun game. Jurassic Park Part 2. Jurassic Park games are pretty difficult too. So if anyone tells you otherwise, they're lying. They're lying to you. We got Kirby Superstar 8 games. Raj says, I've got one for you. Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask? Ocarina. So it's funny. The only Zelda games I ever played, I played The Legend of Zelda on NES when I was younger. And then I played Majora's Mask and I played Ocarina on Nintendo 64. And that was it. Those are the only Zelda. I've never been hugely into Zelda, but I would say Ocarina. I think Ocarina is so much more fun, in my opinion. They both have their good things about them, but I spent a lot more time and had a lot more fun with Ocarina. What about you? Or what does everyone think? Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask for Zelda? What is it? What does the chat think? I'm just gonna put this game up. Any opinions on Ocarina of Time versus Majora's Mask? I think I'm going to start playing Silent Hill 2 on PlayStation 5. Nice. I I think I played it on PS2. I don't think yeah, I don't have a PS5, so a lot of those newer PlayStation games, a lot of the PlayStation games that I wanted to play, I just bought on Steam. So like the Spider-Man games I was really interested in, and the Miles Morales. So I definitely enjoyed playing those on PC, and I didn't have to buy a PlayStation to play them. So I have Instagram. Nice, very nice. I love Ocarina of Time too. The memories I have playing that with my brother before we drifted apart are timeless. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you guys drifted apart. That's unfortunate. But yeah, Ocarina is definitely a fun game. They both have, like I said, their elements that make them fun, but definitely for me, Ocarina was the more fun. I also have this, I don't know if you were in here when I showed it. I also have this ROM hack game, but it's called The Missing Link, and I haven't played it yet, so I have no idea what it's about or what it is, but it's like a fan-made game. So I don't know if you've heard of it. Not a huge, like I said, not a huge Zelda person, but I do have Ocarina in here, and I do have Majora's Mask. This is the lenticular cover, and then I also have Legend of Zelda, and I also have The Adventures of Link. These gold cartridges were pretty cool. These were hard to keep clean. I think the gold plating, as you can see there, kind of starts to wear off over time. So, yeah, gorgeous cartridges they are. These are really hard to keep in this good condition over this amount of time. You can see down there it's starting to wear off a little bit. But Ocarina of Time has great music. Oh yeah, Ocarina of Time has great music, and has the horse too, which is a good part, I think. And then this Zelda game right here, Link to the Past. Got some more Zelda over here actually, if I can find it all. Some of these things have been unalphabetized as I'm pulling them out for shows, so I kind of lose where some of these things are sometimes. But we got Wind Waker, which again, I played a little bit of, not a lot of, but Wind Waker for GameCube. And then this is the Player's Choice bestseller version of Wind Waker. And then this is the promotional disc with 4 games. So it's got Legend of Zelda, it's got Ocarina of Time, it's got The Adventure of Link, and Majora's Mask all on it, which is pretty cool. And a playable demo of Wind Waker as well. I've heard Four Swords is good. I don't have it, but I've heard that I should play it. It seems very complicated. So, and then there's this one too. This is the 2 game bonus disc, Ocarina of Time, and then Ocarina of Time Master Quest, GameCube. Have you ever played World of Warcraft or any MMORPG? No, I never really got into RPGs, and I never played Warcraft. Um, I play Elden Ring. That's about the biggest RPG that I play, or like the only one really that I've ever played. I will be playing the new Night Rain when it comes out. I did some of the beta testing, so but they've sworn me to secrecy about anything to do with that game, so I'm not going to tell you anything about it. But I think the new one comes out in early June, so I pre-ordered that, so I'm excited to have that. So, well, we are over 2.5 hours. We got 10 viewers in and got 120 total views. Guys, again, I will probably not do another live this week because I'm on call all week, so it's difficult to do. But you'll see me again probably next week after that. But I will definitely check. Um, you'll see me a week after that, and there'll be another episode this week on Wednesday for the podcast. And there'll be obviously I post on Instagram and TikTok all the time. But next time I do a stream, I'm hoping if I can get it to work out, because I need to start packing. So as I pack up my more expensive games, I'll show those off. So those are some sealed stuff I have, some complete in box stuff for NES and Super Nintendo, and I do have a few graded games, as much as it pains me to say, but I bought those early on when I was collecting, and I no longer really purchase any graded games. So I sent you a message. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. So guys, uh, thanks for coming. I'm getting a little tired, so I'm gonna go maybe get some food, watch something on TV, but I hope you guys have a great day. I appreciate all of you coming in. Make sure you share the channel, share the live, make sure you like the things, subscribe, do all that. Helps build the community, helps get everybody to know each other, and we all learn cool new stuff. So definitely appreciate you all being here. Hope to see you all next time. Happy to see a lot of new faces. Happy to see a lot of some of the same people who have been in here before. So hopefully we can build this up and have, hundreds of people in here sometime. But I think we're a long way away from that. But imagine the cool conversations we would have if we do that. So guys, thanks again. Have a good day. I'm gonna end the stream here. But again, thanks for coming in. And take care, and I'll see you guys probably in a week or so. Thanks for sharing, Doc. No problem, Jeremy. Thanks for coming, dude.